Night one between the Prowlers and the Hat-Tricks was an explosive contest, and the Prowlers came out on top. They'll do it again as Port Huron looks to lead with a sweep over their rivals. Good evening, everybody. Will Wiggleman here with you from Danbury Ice Arena. Thanks so much for joining us again tonight. Well, last night we had fights right off the draw and then throughout the rest of the game, but Alex Johnson scored twice and the Prowlers came out victorious 1-0 on the new season. But as Chris Paulin said in his post-game interview yesterday, it's not over. The war that is going on between these two teams, it is not over just because the Hat-Tricks were able to get after Ben Brockway or just because the fights went on. It's still going to continue here tonight, so expect plenty of fireworks. Prowlers will try and battle through that, just like their penalty kill battled through a number of Hat-Tricks power plays last night, and they'll try and pick up the sweep here tonight. We'll have Brady Beaton in our McMorran Place studios to take you through the rest of the pregame before tonight's contest between the Prowlers and the Hat-Tricks. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
And I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Welcome to Danbury Ice Arena. We unfortunately do not have Brady Beaton for the pregame show as planned. My apologies, but it will be me, Will Wiggleman, taking you through the pregame show. We've been working very hard, Christian Jackson and I, on making sure that we have just about everything all set to go for tonight's game. So, should be a great one, and we will start by taking a look at the last game between these teams from last night, a 3-1 win for the Prowlers. But of course, it started right off the bat with AJ Schlepp and Jesse Swanson, the two big guys, getting after it, going at it right at the center dot. We had a couple more fights later. Swanson got the piece of flesh that Danbury fans have been looking for all summer long when he went after Ben Brockway. A couple of other fights. Jamie Bucell and Josh Tomasi after a hit by Bucell, and then Justin Movalli went after Brett Morick, the rookie for the Prowlers, who was playing in his first pro game after Morick threw a hit on one of the Hat-Tricks. But away from the fights, Alex Johnson got a pair of goals, including a back-breaking 3-1 goal immediately after the Prowlers killed off a full 2-minute 5-on-3, and you see there on your screen, Danbury's power play just 1 for 13 in the game last night. Frankie McClendon, 29 saves, but Reed Cooper may have been the best Prowler in that game. 47 stops for Port Huron. Take a look at the standings now in the Empire Division, as the Prowlers are at the top, tied with the Topeka Scarecrows, who blasted the Indiana Sentinels last night. So the Prowlers and Scarecrows get 3-point wins. Of course, the Scarecrows and Sentinels playing in their first ever games as franchises. And the Binghamton Black Bears, a 2-point win in the shootout over the Watertown Wolves. Blue Ridge does not play until next weekend. Of course, the new face in the Empire Division coming over from the Continental. So we move on. Alexander Legkov for the Hat-Tricks made his pro debut last night, and he was all over the puck. Didn't get a point, but he's certainly a skilled rookie. He led the Eastern Hockey League with 66 assists and 97 points last year in just 38 games. the EHL Forward of the Year and Finals MVP. We'll see if he can get himself on the score sheet in his second pro game. For the Prowlers, well, Reggie Millette, no surprise, was all over the puck all night long, led the Prowlers with 7 shots on goal in the game. He set up Matt Graham's power play goal, which turned out to be the game winner with a shot from the blue line that he floated through. Could he get his first goal tonight, though? Again, all around the net, team high 7 shots, had 19 goals in 43 games last year. Let's see where he fits in to tonight's lineup for the Prowlers as we look at our projected lines. Take a look at our projected lines here in just a moment, pardon me. Just one change, though, from last night as Luke James steps in for Brett Morick. Prowlers going 11-5 for the second straight night. You see up there the top line remains intact from last season. Lockney, Graham, and Millette, Artur Heikkila, and Jamie Bucell, along with Austin Federley on that second line, as Heikkila got an opportunity with those two last night as well. And Connor Bazal, another one of the guys who made his pro debut, slots in with Vinny DeCumbis and Dylan Marty again. DeCumbis got some compliments from Prowlers associate head coach Chris Paulin after last night's game for his work on the penalty kill. And he was, of course, the penalty kill strong for the Prowlers. As the referees are hitting the ice here, soon to be followed by both teams. Should be a great matchup here on a Saturday night in Danbury, Connecticut. As we continue to wait for both teams to hit the ice. And momentarily, we can take a look. Take a moment and we'll look at the Prowler starters in just a second here. But again, after everything that went on in last night's game, don't expect it to slow down at all here tonight. So we'll take a look at the Prowler starters. Have Bazal, James, and AJ Schlepp up front. Ben Brockway and Brett Lockhart, the Brock and Lock pairing back together on the defense, and Reed Cooper in between the pipes for the second straight night. So Luke James gets the start in his first game of the season, drawing in for Brett Morick. And the second straight night for AJ Schlepp. He started in his pro debut and dropped the mitts immediately. That was, again, his first pro fight. He had only played senior hockey before this, and the rookie out of Portage College certainly held his own against one of the heavyweights in the FPHL. As the Prowlers hit the ice here, and in case you missed it last night, Prowlers in their brand new white jerseys. Unfortunately, we don't control the cameras here in Danbury, so we can't show you, but they're brand new road whites. And they're 1-0 in those road whites. Cooper getting set in between the pipes again. Bailey Huber, who is another rookie, has yet to play in his first game, is the backup once again. And shortly we will get the hat tricks out on the ice, and then the anthem, and then we will take a closer look at the starting goaltending matchup. But as we continue to get going, as they've stopped the clock here in Danbury, these are things that happen in Danbury a lot for some reason. The clock stops and our timing gets a little bit messed up. Here come the hat tricks onto the ice, but I do want to give some shout outs, saying hi to our watch party out at Wings Etc. here tonight. Second watch party of the year. Last night looked pretty packed, looked great, and hopefully another great turnout tonight at Wings Etc. I can tell you this much, Prowlers owner Ken Andrews is in the building here in Danbury. He flew to Danbury for tonight's game, just to check out the team, as he was in the general East Coast area for a youth hockey tournament. And he is here in the building to watch his team on the ice live for the first time as the owner. So very exciting stuff. I don't think I'll get him up here tonight, but we'll certainly try and get him up in the broadcast booth at least once or twice throughout this season. One quick note for the Danbury hat tricks. Dimitri Christo was originally slated to be in the lineup. He was a late scratch. Artur Karasov will be in instead to make his pro debut. That on defense for Danbury, just like the Prowlers, hat tricks going with 11 forwards and 5 defensemen. And hat tricks will start with their top line of Ruiz, Franduto, and Tomasi, and their defense pairing of Josh LaBelle and Connor Craig. And making his pro debut in between the pipes tonight is Kyle Penton. We will take a break and get you tonight's national anthem.
Band, please rise for the national anthem. Singing tonight's national anthem, Zach Demko. Oh, see, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you.
And that is tonight's national anthem from Danbury Ice Arena. Let's take a look at tonight's starting goaltending matchup. Well, we mentioned Reed Cooper back between the pipes for the Prowlers. A phenomenal game last night for Cooper. 47 saves on 48 shots. Possibly the Prowlers' best player all night long. On the other side, Kyle Penton, the rookie out of Southern Maine, will make his pro debut. He was signed out of the Hat Tricks free agent camp, went 6-7-1 with a 3.4 goals against average and a .918 save percentage at Southern Maine last season. We are just about set to go here in Danbury. The Saturday night game, just get a quick ceremonial puck drop, and then we will be all set to go between the Prowlers and the Hat Tricks. Prowlers 1-0 this season, Hat Tricks 0-1. This is the rematch. Austin Federley and Josh LaBelle were the ones taking that ceremonial face-off. They'll be called back for another ceremonial face-off. And that gives us a chance to tell you about the Goals for Good program the Prowlers and Meyer are combining for this year. For every goal the Prowlers score this season, Meyer will donate $10 to charity through the Goals for Good program. A great initiative here between the Prowlers and Meyer this season. And now we are all set to go for hockey in Denbury. 20 minutes up on the clock as they fold up the rug in case you missed it. AJ Schlepp back in the starting lineup for the Prowlers, but hat tricks went a different direction tonight. They start their top line of Ruiz, Tomasi, and Fronduto. Fans making noise, and we're underway in the first Saturday night game of the year. Brett Lockhart slips it up to Connor Bazal. Hat tricks kept it in, and Bazal's after it in his own end. Reverse around for Lockhart, chip off the boards, kept alive by LaBelle, and James able to just force it out of the zone. Craig, quick up, tipped in by Ruiz. He'll head off for the first change of the night. Brett Lockhart over towards James. Pass was off his skate. Mo Valley couldn't bring that one in. Port Huron trying for a wholesale change. Hat tricks move it up quick. Shot on net, steered away by Cooper. It sat in the slot for a moment as the Prowler overskated it. Mo Valley back towards the cage. That was wide by a few feet. Legkov over to Mo Valley, let it go, and a save by Cooper. He gloves it and hangs on. Oh, less than a minute in, and the hat tricks with the only pressure so far. Mo Valley couldn't keep it in at the line. Here comes Austin Federley. Dellery hustling back. It's a 3-on-1, but Federley's pass hit Dellery as he slid down. So the hat trick escaped that as Swanson plays it for Dellery. And now Troy Harwell dumps it in. Favreau takes a look, sends it around and runs into Swanson. Up comes Bucell, left wing side, it's Hakula. Has Bucell going to net. Hakula's shot was stopped by Penton. He didn't know where it was as it caromed off the back glass. And LaBelle plays it over in Swanson's direction. He'll swing it into the offensive zone and get a change. Now LaBelle dancing towards the net. Cooper had to be alert to make a pad save. Up comes Matt Graham with Millette, puts it to an area. Millette works all the way around the net. Still on it. Millette up high into the middle. His shot off the back wall. Graham tried to stuff it, or Lockney, pardon me, tried to stuff it, and that wouldn't work. Lockney tried to block down the clearing attempt. Second effort by Newberg gets it out of the zone. Brockway dumps it in for the Prowlers. Bounced around and out. Parsons tried to feed it up, couldn't do it. Tomasi overskated it. And DeCumbis bangs it down and around. Prowlers finish up a change as Mo Valley, watched by DeCumbis behind his own net, steps out, fed it up towards Ruiz. Fronduto tried to hand back off for Johnny Ruiz. Instead, Parsons stymied that one at the blue line. Marty and Mo Valley hustling. Marty able to win that race. Now Craig to Tomasi. Able to high flip it to the Prowlers' end. Parsons takes a look over his shoulder as he retrieves, heads right up the boards, chased by Fronduto. Dropped it off. We got a whistle and a penalty coming up. Interference is the call. And it looks like the Prowlers' door is the one that's opening. And Vinny DeCumbis heading over to the box. So DeCombus to the box. Prowlers first PK of this game. Hat tricks were 1 for 13 on the man advantage last night. As Ruiz tried to slip it around for Pamaleon. Collected by Zajac. Up high LaBelle. Zajac had it go through. Nick Favaro challenging for it. Couple of hat tricks in there as well. And finally LaBelle collected at the point. Loose puck, Ruiz down to Pamaleon in the corner. Hat trick set back up. Ruiz off the post. Delayed penalty coming up against the Prowlers. As James touches up. A 5-on-3 coming for Danbury. Minute 23 seconds on the 5-on-3. Not see who went to the box. Looks like it's Luke James, number 22, in the penalty box for the Prowlers. As we're back underway. Zajac back for LaBelle. Walks the line, sends it through off a body and up out of play. Tick over, 4 minutes gone in period 1. Prowlers already in penalty trouble, having to deal with a long 5-on-3. James ended up going off for hooking. And Zajac tried to slip down low. Swanson swept it off of Matt Graham, and then Graham drops neatly in front of a pass, but Ruiz with a good play to keep it alive. Here's LaBelle walking in. His shot off of either Swanson or Cooper, but ended up in the corner. LaBelle, Ruiz one-timer, and it's swallowed up by Reed Cooper. Boy, that Johnny Ruiz one-timer is about as predictable as an Alex Ovechkin one. Reed Cooper was on the ball throughout all of last night's games with Ruiz in that left wing circle, and he was on the ball there again. Hat trick set back up. Zajac. LaBelle looks. Zajac right back. Ruiz doesn't take it. LaBelle does, and it's blocked by Bucell on a knee. Couple players chopping at. Favaro able to find it and clear. 26 seconds left on the 5-on-3. LaBelle off to the right wing side. Fronduto. LaBelle down deep. Swanson right into Cooper's glove. On the doorstep, Jesse Swanson bidding for one. Maybe in a little bit too tight for his own good. That was a good opportunity for this hat trick's power play, which looked very, very discombobulated throughout last night's game, despite the one power play goal. Off the face-off, Connor Craig to Legkov, back to Craig. Fronduto sent it through, deflected up out of play by Josh Newberg. DeCombus is standing in the visitors' sin bin, ready to step out. 4 seconds left, but he will have to wait until the other side of this break. Prowlers and hat tricks still scoreless here in Danbury.
This isn't working. LJ, pass me those flyers. No look behind the back pass. It's a whole play. LJ, come on. Gap up. Close the gap. Close the gap. What are we saying? This isn't working. We need a shift change. Let's bring in the professionals.
Hello, I'm home.
There he is.
What is happening?
Relax. We won. They brought back the snack wrap. Spicy or ranch?
Spicy. Yeah, go. Yeah. Just one little bite. Can you stop? Oh, sorry.
Gather your crew. Snack Wrap is back.
Well, Danbury, Connecticut, notorious for their short TV timeouts. Here's leg call of a shot off a body and off the glass. Favaro clears. DeCumbus is out of the box. 30 seconds left on the 5-on-4. Again, short TV timeouts here in Danbury. Sometimes don't get the whole commercial break in. Now we have another penalty coming up, holding the call. And is this one against the Prowlers or Josh Newberg? It is against Josh Newberg. So we'll get some 4-on-4 action for 18 seconds. And then an abbreviated Prowlers power play. The veteran Newberg heading to the penalty box. Of course, began last season as the head coach of HC Venom and ended it as a player for the Danbury Hat-Tricks. Interesting year for Newberg. Josh LaBelle takes a look. 10 seconds until this becomes a Prowlers man advantage as LaBelle got it up towards Tomasi, and it's in deep near the Prowlers net. LaBelle stepped in front of Millette, and then Parsons got it up to Millette. 2-on-1 with James with him. Ruiz hustling back. Millette drops the shoulder on Craig. Millette swinging all the way around the net. Turnaround try. That one slipped wide along the ice. The Prowlers power play right now, their first of the night. Federley from straight on, trying to make a pass down to Millette, and LaBelle got his stick on it to ride it up out of play. Prowlers man advantage, got the game-winning goal last night. Matt Graham off of a shot by Reggie Millette. Graham was right there at the top of the crease on the spot to put it in the back of the net. And false start on the draw. Troy Harwell was taking it against Reggie Millette. And finally, we are back to action. Lockney looking towards the cage, forced back. Now stepped up to the blue line. Lockney walks. Millette one-timer. That went off of Harwell. Millette settles. Wrists it through. Deflected. Didn't get all the way to Penton. Federley just able to keep that clearing attempt in on the boards. Alex Johnson to Federley. Walks in. Back to Millette. Lockney, one-timer off the back wall wide. Federley. Millette. Wrists it through. That one didn't get through the sea of bodies. Hat-tricks finally clear. Troy Harwell knocked it out of the air with a stick above his shoulders, but it doesn't matter because Lockney's the first one on it back in Prowler ice. 25 seconds left on the man advantage. Lockney streaking in. All for Millette on the left wing side. Millette couple of head fakes all the way down to Lockney. That puck didn't get to him cleanly. Prowlers recover. Millette thought about the shot. Little spinorama around Tomasi. Pass it off Favaro. Had it blocked. Puck bouncing around. Penalty is over as Bucell and Craig both overskated it. Millette keeps the puck in at the line. Favaro wrists it across in Bucell's direction. He settles back under it. Now Favaro working down the wall all the way around the net. Nick Favaro up top. Bucell winds and fires and missed it wide. And out comes Josh LaBelle. Lots of good pressure for the Prowlers, just couldn't get shots through the traffic. And we stay scoreless. Just over 8 minutes gone in period one. Brett Lockhart with some skating room. Couldn't speed in. Good stick by Ethan Esposito. And now Esposito works up. He's dragged down by Dylan Marty. Fans want a penalty they won't get. Good body by Marty. Here's Lockhart, a shot. He scores! Brett Lockhart with the folks in the building. Makes it 1-0 Prowlers. A great rip from that right wing. And Lockhart, who always has the family here in Danbury, we know they're here tonight, gets a big goal to break the ice. 4 last year for Lockhart all season, but he did tie for second on the Prowlers at plus 21. So great in the plus minus category was Brett Lockhart in what was his first full pro season. A collegiate signing at the end of the 2023-24 season. He has his first of this year. Prowlers have 4 goals this season now, and 3 of them by defensemen, 2 of course from Alex Johnson last night. And with 2 goals last night, Alex Johnson is on pace for a blistering 112 goals this season. See how long that lasts. Brian Parsons, who's a point per game guy, gave it to Matt Graham. Lead pass to Federley. Has Lockney going towards the net, tried to float it that direction. Johnson tried to stuff it. Lockney kept it away from Penton, but up comes LaBelle, leading a rush. 3-on-2 for the hat-tricks if they hurry. Belfay, the leg call, couldn't get a good shot away as Cooper was diving around, and the Prowlers clear the zone. This one chipped into the Prowler bench and out of play. 10:34 left in period 1. Hat-tricks up on shots, 8-4. They won the shot battle last night by a considerable margin, but it's the Prowlers with the 1-0 lead. Ben Brockway and Dylan Marty currently being given credit with the assists on the goal by Lockhart. You know what? I thought there was something wrong with my headset, but now I realize there's a guy with a symbol next to the broadcast booth, which is just kind of unbelievable. But good to know my headset's working fine. As this pass saw Newberg step in front. Favaro knocked down. And now Troy Harwell dumps it in. Takes a bump from Bazal as he does. Lockhart up towards Bazal. Mo Valley wraps it all the way back around. Delayed offsides against the hat-tricks. They touch up. LaBelle bangs it back in. And Cooper hands off to Brian Parsons. Parsons led it all the way up to the hat-tricks blue line. Only Mo Valley was there. Mo Valley gave it right away to Austin Federley. And then Federley put it right on Fronduto's stick. Bucell hustles back, trying to take it from Fronduto. Tomasi from a sharp angle was stopped. Here's Craig a try, and he missed it wide. Karam's out of the zone. And that was a theme of the hat-tricks power play, especially that 5-on-3 in last night's game. The shots missing the net and Karaming all the way out of the zone. Federley, a nice chip past LaBelle. LaBelle has it back. Able to dump it in. And Nick Favaro back for it, trying to start up something for the Prowlers. Federley gets a touch on it, so no icing. Port Huron gets a change. 9 minutes left to go in period 1. Brett Lockhart, the only goal scorer so far, 1-0 Prowlers. Big Trey Delory steps out from behind his net. Pass off to his right, Craig off the far corner boards. Cooper keeps it below the goal line. 3-on-2 battle. Johnson comes up with it. Let it on to Millette. Waiting for help. Has Lockney. Left wing. Lockney drops the shoulder all the way around. Couldn't get the wrap as Craig got his stick in there. Now Brockway lets it go. Hit traffic on the way through. Millette and Delory were battling. Pamaleon trying to slow things down. Millette still in on the forecheck. So not completely safe for the hat-tricks. And Reggie Millette decides to head off for a change as Delory resets. Up the left wing side, it's Legkov. Slips it in, the quick shot goes wide. Not sure if Cooper got a piece of that Zajac try or not. Mavali gave it away. Lockhart trying to streak back in, couldn't do it. Bucell tracks it down in his own end. Chased by Belfay. Bucell takes the reverse pass from Federley. Goes off the back wall. Now Austin Belfay slows things down, watched by Bucell. Prowlers making a change right now as Movali gets the red line, claps it around the glass. Legkov first on it on the near side, stapled to the boards by Parsons. Slipped up the wall. Craig across to LaBelle. Harwell sent a shot through, it was blocked, comes to LaBelle. He couldn't get that one to the net either. Parsons off the glass, glove down by LaBelle, and Luke James knocks down Josh LaBelle. LaBelle again, wrists it through, and that's gloved and held by Reed Cooper. What a hit by Luke James on Josh LaBelle. Little guys can knock down big men, as we see. We'll take a timeout from Danbury, 6:47 left to go. The Munger Physical Therapy first period.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rear-view mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hi guys, we just stopped at Industrial Park Marathon to get some fuel and some snacks before the Prowlers game at McMorran.
Nice. Yeah, we just stopped by here at Industrial Park Marathon so I can get a Slurpee before the game.
Wait till after the game. If the Prowlers score 3 or more goals, Slurpees will be free.
Thanks for the info. I'm going to get my Slurpee after, but we'll see you at the Prowlers game.
See you at the game. Go
Go
Prowlers!
Prowlers!
Back here in Danbury, 1-0 Prowlers in the latter stages of period one. Brett Lockhart, his first of the year. The only tally so far. And the only blemish for rookie goaltender Kyle Penton making his pro debut tonight. And the true underdog story, at least as underdog as you can get in the FPHL. The FPHL is full of underdog stories, but Penton, that extra step, came out of free agent camp as Josh LaBelle shot gloved and held by Reed Cooper. For the free agent camp, for those who don't know, in the FPHL, people can sign up and pay to be in a free agent camp with a chance to get invited to the team's main camp. And then once you get invited to the team's main camp, you also have to try and make the team. And Penton did so. He was the backup last night. And again, getting his first start here tonight. Millette with a fancy move between his own legs. Off for Lockney, left wing side. Lockney a shot, stopped by Penton. He got a piece of it with the blocker. This one locked it out of play, and that's a delay of game penalty to Josh LaBelle. So the Prowlers will head to their second power play of the night. Their forecheck forced LaBelle a little bit. Puck may have been on edge as well, but either way, a chance for the Prowlers to double their lead. They have the top unit out there as Matt Graham gets set to draw with Josh Newberg. And they'll ask Graham to leave. Not the first time they've asked Matt Graham to leave in this hockey game. Millette will step in to take it. Delray trying to force it up the boards. He knocked it out of play. Do we have another delay of game? Alex Johnson seems to think so. Both referees looked at each other, so I don't think either of them were sure. Referees tonight, Carmine Vetrano and Al Lagana. Linesmen Kyle Cedrone and Michael Imperio. They say no delay of game this time on Delary. We continue a 5-on-4 advantage for the Prowlers. Here is Delary, able to slip it only as far as the line. Good reach by Federley. Lockney, down low, Graham. Tried to look back, Graham stuffing at it. Penton had it under the blocker. Lockney has a real good shot from that left wing circle. Not the same as Johnny Ruiz, who lines up on that side as his offside, looking for one-timers. For Lockney, it's that quick snapshot, great wrister, and he can pick corners. That makes it ever dangerous and gives him the opportunity. Pass down to Matt Graham. Unfortunately for the Prowlers on that one, Graham just didn't have an option in front, and Penton ended up taking control. Here's Austin Federley looking to swoop up ice. Throws on the break, spins away from Harwell, and drops it off to Lockney. Millette slows up. Prowler set back up. Lockney, curl and drag, still curling, still dragging, and his shot punched out by Penton. Federley couldn't keep it in as it bounced over his stick. Hattrick's trying to sneak in a change. Prowler's quick up. Millette, down low, Graham on his backhand, and a save by Penton. Tomasi finds it, and he wings it around the boards all the way down. Cooper with his head up. Johnny Ruiz coming right in on him. Got it off to Millette. 45 seconds left on this Prowlers man advantage. Millette walking, hands it off to Federley. Federley working in. Try to send it to the near side corner. Marty has it there. Bucell back down to Marty. Up high, Federley winds, fakes. Millette lets it go, and a glove save by Kyle Penton. 16 seconds remain on this Prowlers power play. We'll have it for you when we come back here to Danbury. Back here in Danbury, Prowlers trying to finish up these few seconds of their power play. We'll see if they can get one through. 4 shots so far already on the man advantage. And Jamie Bucell's unit out there to start things off. Cleared quickly all the way down. Cooper has it next to his pad. He didn't know where it was, and now will be forced to cover by Harwell. It's a little bit of a strange situation there. But no harm, no foul there for the Prowlers. As LaBelle set to step out of the penalty box in 5 seconds. It looks like both teams will end up 0 for 2 on the man advantage so far. Offensive zone draw for the hat trick. Zaitchik and DeCumbus taking it. Zaitchik wins it back. One-timer Craig. Gloved and held by Cooper, and LaBelle will have to wait just that much longer. Step out of the box. Patrick's won the faceoff. Belfay sent it right through, right to Brian Parsons. Makes a nice glove save. And Luke James able to flip it in. Craig tried to bang it right back out. Prowlers in a delayed offside situation. James touches up, trying to defend LaBelle. Parsons with a good stick, kept Legkov from entering the Prowlers' end. Ben Brockway, newest alternate captain of the Prowlers, joining Captain Austin Federley and an alternate captain named in the middle of last year, Jamie Bucell. Brockway named alternate captain during training camp. Here's a 3-on-2. Craig wrists it. Save Cooper. Nick Favaro on for DeCumbus, 1-on-3. He'll chip it in and get a change. 3.5 left to go in period one, a 1-0 Prowlers lead. As got past everyone, Legkov trying to track it down, but they call the icing. And I know I'm supposed to be the Prowlers broadcaster, but I think Legkov was going to beat Alex Johnson in that race, so I'm very surprised they called the icing. Prowlers certainly won't complain, though. Johnny Ruiz getting the explanation from the linesman before he takes this draw against Bucell. Off the draw, Legkov. Hakila lost an edge, so that allows Legkov to escape the zone. Trying to move up with speed, but Johnson stopped him. Johnson back to collect. Tomasi hustling his direction. Johnson up to Marty, who took a couple of bumps, but he moved the puck forward to Bucell. Hat-Trick's looking to work it out, and Johnson. Hand off for his D partner, Favaro. Marty claps it right in on Penton. He hangs on with Nick Favaro, the defenseman, bearing down on him, and we'll get another whistle and another face-off. .244 left to go here in period one. Off this face up, LaBelle spun back. Now LaBelle up to Legkov, left wing side. Legkov couldn't dance in around Lockhart, has the puck back. Spun it down deep. Zajac around Belfay. Took the bump from Lockhart, lost the puck. Graham after it. On for Lockney with Millette. Reggie Millette trying to dance around Karasov. He got taken down. And a good legal play by Karasov to stop Reggie Millette. Karasov in his pro debut, a late addition to the lineup after Demetrius Christou was a late scratch. Flipped into Prowler territory. 2-16s, Parson and Ruiz after it. Millette couldn't slip it ahead. Parsons, saucer for Favaro. Lockney with Millette, 2-on-3. Millette, nice toe drag move. DeCumbus fanned on a shot. And now it's Pamaleon. Pamaleon, long range try, save Cooper. Rebound was available. And a nice play by Favaro keeps Esposito from getting to it. Favaro leading the rush, spins. Trying to get it off to Lockney, just couldn't do it. Pass was behind him. Lucas Lockney would have had a nice opportunity. Both teams make changes as Bucell carries ahead. Bucell, 1-on-4. Had it knocked off his stick. Penalty coming up against the Hat-Tricks. Bazal behind the net, lost it. And the Prowlers will go to the man advantage with just under a minute left in period number one. Stick around for the PHP Network intermission report. We will have our first episode of Behind the Eyes. Brady Beaton will take you through it in our McMorran Place studios. Also take a look at some storylines and some stats as well. It's all coming up on the PHP Network first intermission report from our McMorran Place studios back in Port Huron. LaBelle fires this one all the way down. We are excited to have Brady Beaton with us. And if you think you haven't seen his work yet on this broadcast, well, you'd be wrong because he's controlling our score bug right now. Thank you to Brady for his help on that. Double duty tonight. Austin Federley with 29 to go in the period. to Millette. Down low, Graham couldn't push it on goal. And now Newberg is getting a penalty, and he can't believe it, holding the call. It's the Prowlers' turn for a 5-on-3. The boos rain down here at Danbury Ice Arena. But Ruiz is in the box, and now Josh Newberg will join him. So the top unit will stay out for Port Huron to continue this power play. And in all likelihood, at least one of the penalties will leak over into period number 2. Off the draw, Lockney. Saucer to Federley. Down to Millette. Federley with 14. Millette looks, shoots, saved, juggled, and held by Penton. 8.9 to work with for the Prowlers. Hat-tricks have LaBelle, Tomasi, and Mavalli out there. Again, the top power play unit on for Port Huron. Important face-off here. And both centers are going to be asked to leave. So defenseman LaBelle comes in against the winger Lockney. Lockney wins it to the boards. Millette up high, Federley. Johnson, one-timer, didn't get all the way through. And LaBelle clears it. That will do it for the opening 20. Brett Lockhart, the only goal so far. It is a 1-0 Prowlers lead. Shots on goal in that period. He favored the hat-tricks for much of the frame, and they do still at the end of it, 13-11 for Danbury. Once again, coming up in the intermission report, we will get our first episode of Behind the Eyes, the training camp documentary. This is not the Behind the Eyes of the last 2 years. No, it is not. Aiden Bricker, our new content producer, has done a phenomenal job with it this year. Much higher production quality, and I can say that as the person who was creating it the last couple of years. So, very excited about that. And we'll also take a look at some stats, the out-of-town scores, storylines from around the league, and more. It's all coming from our historic McMorran Place studios with Brady Beeden. Well, the Prowlers have a brand new...
I thought he was going to break.
Let's take it to Brady Beeden in our McMorran Place studios.
Thanks, Will. Back here in Port Huron after one period of play, 1-0 Port Huron on top. But yeah, Will, as you mentioned, Aiden Bricker was able to get a great look behind the scenes, let the fans see what they've done, all the hard work that's put into getting ready for an FPHL season, the 11th for the Port Huron Prowlers. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have that behind the eyes content for you right here on the PHP Network.
Hey, I think I've met most of you guys. If I haven't, I'm Matt. I'm the head coach. There's been a lot of changes this offseason, right? I'd say we're in a much better spot than we were 6 months ago, and it's going to be awesome this season. I think this is going to be one of the best seasons yet, as far as like the organization's standpoint is. But that kind of leads me into this now. As far as our on-ice product, the way we play, the way we present ourselves, none of that's going to change at all, okay? You guys are expected to execute with consistency and perfection. I think over the last few years, when we talk about our execution, it's been pretty good, but I think there's been a little bit of lapses and a little bit of like compromise where we're like, it's okay if we're not executing at the highest of high levels, right? And I think we saw that kind of be a detriment to us at the end of last season. To me, there's two ways to improve, okay? I can either develop and continue to build into the role that the team needs, or we can look outside and bring in, right? And I promise you, the same group that we start with at the beginning of the year isn't going to be the same group that we end with at the end of the year. Okay? So the onus comes to be on you. Okay, so you have two options. You can either get it done or make excuses, right?
Our confidence is not from one good or one bad result. We don't derive confidence from results, we derive it from the work we put in. So we have to be more confident as individuals and as a team than everybody else in the league, and we're going to do that through work. That's the only way, all right?
11 days before our first game, right? And I promise you, it's going to be a war when we go into this game, okay? So we have basically 8 practice days to prepare ourselves and to get ready, okay? So this week is going to be extremely hard, it's going to be extremely physical, we're going to battle with each other, and we're going to see who wants to battle, because it's going to take that to be successful week 1, I promise you that.
Mic down, part 2.
How was that, boys? Good? Hey, we're getting there. We're gonna do a little conditioning now. All right, so a lot of times people think of conditioning as a punishment. It's not a punishment. We do it because we want to win, all right? So it was a good skate. We'll build on that. I think this afternoon will be a lot better. Let's finish strong. Battle, battle, battle! Keep competing here, okay? Let's go.
Get a little lower so he can actually have an opportunity to back check a little bit.
Great skate, boys. Great job, boys. Great job.
Great first skate. I love how we're skating twice a day, and you know, a couple workouts mixed in throughout the week too. So, you know, I know come game 1, we'll be ready.
It was good. It was a good start. I think the guys were really excited to be there. I thought there was good energy. I think we have a long way to go as a group, but we knew that. I thought the compete level was really good, so I was really encouraged by that.
It was a lot of fun finally getting back on the ice and then getting to meet everybody on the team, and then just like the last couple of days arriving here and checking out what Port Huron has to offer and sort of just learning the town and learning the way.
It's been an exciting summer, but there's nothing like being here with the boys and, you know, getting ready. We got a really exciting matchup here in about a week and a half with Danbury. So I think everyone's focused and they know what's ahead of them.
Being on the right side of battles and the right side of pucks as well too. We talked about that yesterday on the in our meeting about the standard. Those are things that we need to tighten up for sure. Anything offensively that we struggled with, or came to us easy, I guess.
You know, we pride ourselves here as playing as a unit and having each other's backs, and from day one when guys bring the intensity, it speaks volumes about, you know, our group and how we're going to carry it all the way through the year and into playoffs.
Just trying to develop my game and, you know, come into my first year pro as mature as I can be, and sort of, with that being said, like seeing all these other guys and how they treat themselves and how they take care of their bodies and learning from them has been like a big help too, and just sort of getting to meet some new faces has also been awesome.
Hey, you're in great position. Just go stick on stick there.
Okay.
Stick on stick.
Don't try and like put it down. Okay.
You're right there. You're right there. You ran him out of time and space. It was really good. Go stick on stick. So if he tries to move it, you're gonna, you know, deflect the pass.
Thank you.
When you're F3, you got to stay high because you're moving into coverage at that point.
Okay.
Here we go.
Nice shooting, kid.
I think we need to get a lot better short bursts, right? Stops and starts, short bursts. All right, we're a little bit behind right now, but we'll get there, all right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have everyone on the far wall, okay? And we're gonna start with to the dot, near dot, and back, all right? Near dot and back. We're gonna stop facing that end. We're gonna stop facing Zamdor, all right? Every time, make sure you get to the dot. If you don't hit the dot, that's okay, we'll just start over, all right? Here we go.
Good job, boys.
Yeah, it can be kind of confusing. You just got to distinguish, and like what we want is like no hesitation. You give and then you go. Yeah. Let's pick it up a little bit. We got to pick up the intensity though. All right, I heard a bunch of guys saying like, hey, let's make sure we're talking, all right? So I don't know if it's an energy thing, a confidence thing. We need to pick up the energy. We need to start talking, all right? Because in a week and a half, we have a big game. No, the competitiveness was pretty good, though. I thought most guys were digging in pretty hard. Not everyone, but most.
Hey, good first 2 days, boys. Hey, let's keep rolling here. Prowlers on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Prowlers!
What a great look at the behind the scenes of that Port Huron Prowlers training camp. We'll get to see more as the year goes on. Again, shout out to Aiden Bricker for putting that all together. We'll take another break. When we come back here to the McMorran Studios, take a look at what the storylines are around the Fed, what the games are going on right now, first period stats, and more here on the PHP Network.
Yeah, I don't know about this one, fellas.
Boys, we don't overcome adversity by backing down. But yeah, I don't know about this one.
That's reassuring.
We're so screwed.
All right, boys. Here's a game plan. LJ, you start with bananas. B-Way.
Wait, why do I have to do the bananas?
Because you're the softest on the team.
I don't want the bananas.
This thing is gonna melt. We gotta hurry up.
I won't do it.
Okay, both of you. I will do the bananas and the whipped cream. Fets, please continue.
Who's paying for this anyway?
I am. I just bought my tickets for the Prowlers game this weekend, and the Milk House gave me 25% off my order.
Fets, why'd you buy the tickets? You're literally on the team.
For the discount.
So are you all ready to give it a try?
Oh, we're ready.
It's true. Get 25% off your entire order at the Milk House, October through April. Simply show your ticket stubs at checkout and enjoy your discounted treat.
What's more authentic than a Hungry Howie's Detroit-style pizza? Nothing. We're not playing around with the pizza of our birthplace. Thick crust, cheese to the edge, sauce on the top. Where it belongs. We've seen a lot of fakes out there. Not here. This is authentic Detroit-style pizza. Order yours now online for $12.99. We sauce the top and rep for the 313 everywhere. We do bold. Hungry? Howie's!
Hockey is like a business. One missed pass can derail the perfect plan. Have Taft Consulting help you get your whole team on the same page. They have the expertise to help you follow through on all your goals. Find out how they can help you today by emailing taftconsulting@outlook.com.
Explore the 140 miles of stunning shoreline along Lake Huron. That is Michigan's Thumb Coast. Discover charming coastal towns, serene beaches, and endless outdoor adventures. Stay at cozy hotels, paddle through pristine blue waters, and hit the fairways along breathtaking views. Plan your perfect getaway at bluewater.org.
Back here at the McMorran Studios in Port Huron, Michigan. First intermission, Prowlers lead it 1-0, second game of the season. But let's take some look at what's going on around the Fed, the storylines. First and foremost. 1 on the year. I mean, you look at last game, and let's be honest, really any game between Port Huron and Danbury, it's a CVS list of penalties. Last night, not too different from the first period tonight. They're each team 0 for 2 on the power play. However, when the second period starts, we're going to have a 1:03 left of 5-on-3 hockey. Shots right now, Danbury 13, Port Huron 11. It was a back and forth period. Port Huron having opportunities. Special teams is obviously proving prudent in this matchup as Port Huron trying to get the season opening sweep, and it's such a strong way to start the season if you can go to a barn. And let's be honest, Danbury, a tough place to play, to get 3 points last night, trying to replicate that here tonight, be able to come back home with 6 points. Wrap it up here in the first intermission here from the McMorran Studios. Take a break, come back with Will Wiggleman, second period action right here on the PHP Network.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Welcome back to Danbury. 1-0 Prowlers through the first 20 minutes of play. And we'll have 1 minute and 4 seconds of 5-on-3 time to work with when we begin period number 2. Will Wiggleman back with you here and at Danbury Ice Arena for the conclusion of this 2-game opening weekend set between the Prowlers and the Danbury Hat Tricks. How about that behind the eyes from Aiden Bricker, our new content producer and videographer. He does a heck of a job. He also made a lot of these new commercials that you're seeing and probably some of your new favorite commercials on the broadcast. He created a lot of those as well. Does a fantastic job, and we're looking forward to seeing everything he does this season. But, you know, that behind the eyes, great way to start, and I hope you all enjoyed it. In case you missed it, we will upload it onto the YouTube channel at some point later on. Before we get started in this second period, I do want to tell you about the Prowlers team store. Prowlers have a brand new team store, and if you've been to McMorran Place before, it's where that old pro shop used to be. So now you can walk in, touch, feel all of the merchandise. You don't have to wait to talk to someone at the window just to see what you want to see. You can see everything and then decide while you're in there. It's going to be awesome, opening either this week or this upcoming weekend for the home opener. And there's also packed with all kinds of new merchandise. You can browse through the selection now, though, at prowlersmerch.com. Scan that QR code on your screen now. Take you right to prowlersmerch.com. We're so excited about the brand new team store. One of the great upgrades that came to Port Huron with our new ownership from Ken Andrews, who, again, is here, I believe. I just haven't seen him yet, but that's all right. We'll catch up later. He will certainly be in the building in Port Huron next weekend for opening weekend, so that will be awesome to have Ken there and just to be visible to the fans there at McMorran Place. It's going to be such an awesome thing. So we're very excited to kick off the home portion of this season. You know, next week we start a 6-game homestand in Port Huron. 2 against Watertown next weekend, 2 against Topeka the following weekend, and then 2 against Binghamton the weekend after that. That's Halloween weekend. Lots of great promotions if you are looking for every promotional game, because every single game is a promotional game this year. So check out the Prowlers website under the schedule tab, click promotional schedule, get the full breakdown on every single theme all season long. We're about set for puck drop for period number 2, the Hungry Howie second period. Down to our left, we have Reed Cooper, who made 13 saves on 13 hat-trick shots. Down to our right, Kyle Penton, the rookie, in his first pro game, made 10 saves on 11 shots. Prowlers begin with 1 minute and 4 seconds of 5-on-3 time. They have the top unit out there. Can they take advantage and put a little bit of distance between themselves and the hat tricks? They set up right away. Lucas Lockney slides down for Graham. Out to Millette. Couldn't handle it cleanly. Has to curl back and try something else. Federley walks. Takes a look. Off for Millette. Cuts to the middle. Fumbled with it momentarily. Got it down to Lockney. Graham and Johnson are both in front. Now Millette lets go the one-timer, and it's swallowed up by Penton. 30 seconds left on Ruiz's penalty, and 1:03 on Newberg's. And it's very cool that you can now visualize that on your screen. I don't have to tell you all the time, and that's probably a habit that I'll try and break throughout the season, but at least not yet. Lockney takes a look, and a shot pass deflected out of play by Matt Graham. And we talked about it. Lockney's so dangerous with that wrist shot that when he fakes it, sometimes it works well. Tried to fake it to Matt Graham and just could not get the deflection. Lockney up to Federley. Millette one-timer whipped it wide. Federley again sets up Millette once more. Federley, Lockney, one-time blast. That's blocked by Mavalli. Ruiz set to come out as Lockney's pass bounced off a couple of hat tricks. Lockney now turns towards the net. Off for Federley. Walks the line. Lockney walks in. He shoots, and it ends up in the protective netting, out of play with 21 seconds left on the Prowlers' 5-on-4 man advantage. Port Huron killed off the lengthy 5-on-3 last night for the hat tricks. And Danbury trying to do the same here. 21 seconds left for them to kill as the Prowlers switch to their second unit. Right off the draw, hat tricks able to clear it. Lockhart under pressure. Tried to saucer it ahead towards Bucell. Favaro to Bazal, and now Bucell steps in, throws on the brakes, and now Lockhart in the final seconds of this Prowlers power play. Brett Lockhart up high to Bazal. He works back down the wall. Connor Bazal behind the net. Couldn't feed it out in front as he was surrounded by black sweaters. Favaro cut off Ruiz at the red line. Hat tricks dump it in, and both teams get some fresh units on the ice. 2 minutes gone in period 2. Bazal able to bang it deep. Marty in on the forecheck, caused a turnover. Nobody there. Pamaleon had to dangle his own goaltender, not put the puck in the back of the net. A 1-on-4 on the forecheck for Dylan Marty, caused some havoc. Here's Pamaleon, tried to slip it down low, and Brian Parsons saved a goal. Back up come the Prowlers. Marty couldn't work in. Pamaleon the other direction. Steps over the line. Watched by Brockway. Dumped it around. Parsons stepped in front of Esposito. Parsons led on for James, who just tips it in and gets off the ice. LaBelle had Belfay at the Prowler blue line, banged his stick. LaBelle decided not to make the pass with Alex Johnson going out to meet Belfay. Leitkov Had his pocket picked by Favaro. Millette trying to exit the zone. Belfay got his stick on it. And now it's Favaro on for Millette. Millette gets in. His shot, he scores! A low shot through traffic. Reggie Millette makes it 2-0 Port Huron. And the Reggie chants from the Section 9 fans who are here in attendance. As Millette cut to the middle, maybe able to use Josh Newberg as a screen as Newberg went down to try and block the shot. Either way, Millette with his first of the year. A guy that we talked about in the pregame show with a team-high 7 shots last night. He was finally able to get number 1 of the 2025-26 season. Here's Brett Lockhart, the other goal scorer for the Prowlers. Gave it to Bucell. He dumps it in. Dellery bangs it right back up where it came from. Popped out to Bucell. Now Hakela down below the goal line. Worked his way up the boards. Bucell trying to get back to that puck. Diving effort, but he swiped and missed. And here comes Fronduto for Danbury. Fronduto knocked down on the hit by Lockhart. Ben Brockway fed it up to Bucell. Dumped in on Penton, tried to hand it off to Mavalli. That was dangerous. Hat-Trick's able to escape their zone as LaBelle poked it up in Johnson's direction. Favaro has to chase in his own end. Pamaleon right on him. Favaro sent it up the glass. It hit Ethan Esposito and popped up out of play. 15:40 left to go in period number 2. It's a 2-0 Prowlers lead. Reggie Millette, the only goal scorer of the second period. They're currently calling it Matt Graham from Reggie Millette. We know that's not the case. We're not sure who will get the assist on it. Off this face-off, Johnson able to get it off to Lockney. Now on the right wing side, here comes Millette galloping back after that puck. Able to slip away from Mavalli. Legkov, though, took it off his tape. LaBelle got it through. Here's Legkov, still on it. Legkov shot blocked, and the carom ended up behind Belfay as he tried to find it. Delayed penalty coming up, and Millette was about to touch it, so they blow it dead, holding the call, and the Hat-Tricks will go to their third power play of the night. And it's Nick Favaro, the one heading to the box. So Prowlers penalty kill that has been strong will be tested once again. They'll start with James Federley, Lockhart, and Brockway. Top unit out for Danbury. Tomasi, Zaitchek, Pamaleon, Ruiz, and LaBelle. And right off, a face-off win by James. Ben Brockway tosses it down ice. James went right to the bench. And Vinny DeCumbis out now defending for the Prowlers. Ruiz to the outside, Zaitchek back towards Ruiz, couldn't get a good touch on it. Tomasi tried to play it back to his point, but nobody home, and LaBelle has to skate back. Zaitchek up to Tomasi at the Prowler blue line. Back for Zaitchek, he enters the offensive zone. LaBelle straight on, it's blocked. Artu Hakela getting in front of that one. Tomasi with some space, tried to go short side, rose it too tall. Tomasi to the line, Craig got it across, Zaitchek let it go, and Reed Cooper had plenty of time to get over and make the save. Still plenty of time left on this Hat-Tricks power play. We'll have it for you when we come back from Danbury.
Yeah, I don't know about this one, fellas.
Boys, we don't overcome adversity by backing down. But yeah, I don't know about this one.
That's reassuring.
We're so screwed.
All right, boys. Here's a game plan. LJ, you start with bananas. B-Way.
Wait, why do I have to do the bananas?
Because you're the softest on the team.
I don't want the bananas.
This thing is going to melt. We got to hurry up.
I won't do it.
Okay, both of you. I will do the bananas and the whipped cream. Fets. Please continue.
Who's paying for this anyway?
I am. I just bought my tickets for the Prowlers game this weekend, and the Milkhouse gave me 25% off my order.
Fats, why'd you buy the tickets? You're literally on the team.
For the discount.
So are you all ready to give it a try?
Oh, we're ready.
It's true. Get 25% off your entire order at the Milkhouse, October through April. Simply show your ticket stubs at checkout and enjoy your discounted treat.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Back here in Danbury, still 2-0 Prowlers, 14-18 left to go in period 2. And my statistician, Brady Beaton, helping me out. Nick Favaro should get the assist on Reggie Millet's goal, and that would be Favaro's first point as a Prowler. Hat-Trick still looking for their first shot on goal of this second period. They're almost halfway through their first power play of the frame. Sent all the way around the boards, Legkov, Craig, and it off that shot off the back boards. Parsons trying to settle it down as it was bouncing. Got it up to Bucell, who clears. So 6 minutes gone in period 2. Still no shots recorded by the Hat-Tricks. Actually, they gave Zajac credit for that last shot that missed the net. So we do have our first hat-trick shot of the period. 30 seconds left on the penalty to Nick Favaro. Alex Johnson has some skating room. He'll take it and get it up to Marty. Shorthanded chance for the Prowlers. Legkov poked it away from James. Luke James lost his stick. He's hustling back. Belfay had his shot blocked by Brockway. Belfay sent it right back through the goal mouth, and they blow it dead as the net came off behind Reed Cooper. Dylan Marty was about to clap that one 200 feet. But instead, Prowlers will have to deal with a defensive zone face-off. Nick Favaro standing, set to step out of the penalty box. I think the Hat-Tricks were unsure if the Prowlers would be allowed to change or not. They do get James and Marty out there for this draw. Jesse Swanson lined up next to Ben Brockway right now, but nothing except a battle in front of the net. That one came through and ended up in the near side corner. Ruiz turns towards the net, unloads, and it sticks to Cooper just as the penalty expired. Reed Cooper stays dialed in as he stared down the Hat-Tricks captain. Another successful penalty kill for the Prowlers. Hat-Tricks power play 0 for 3 now tonight. Off this draw, Karasov trying to slip down the boards. Reggie Millet took it from him. Dellery pinching in, kept it alive momentarily. Ryan Parsons first on the puck. Tried to launch it out. Karasov kept it in for a second. Lockney couldn't start moving up ice. Would have had some numbers as Millet was there to help out, but instead it's Parsons and Ruiz canceling out. Graham had to avoid a check of the oncoming Swanson. A penalty is coming up. Harwell went after Graham, and now those two locked in battle with a linesman right in between. It will take both linesmen to separate them, it looks like. I think it looked like Matt Graham was getting his stick lifted, and it ended up hitting Jesse Swanson in the face. Graham will have to head to the penalty box, and the Hat-Tricks back to the power play. And now Reed Cooper is coming out of the Prowlers net and pointing at something. He's talking to Alex Johnson. Not sure what about, but Troy Harwell is also stepping into the box, so this may be evened up here. So Johnson and Federley over there for the Prowlers. Ruiz and Swanson. Swanson the one who got the stick to the face. Ben Brockway now replacing Johnson over at the referee circle, and Swanson and Johnson having a conversation as both head back to their benches. Swanson and Johnson sounds like a law firm, by the way. I just like to send out some of my intrusive thoughts to the broadcast occasionally. Hat tricks are trying to get Swanson to come back and show blood or something is my belief, so that they can get an extra 2 minutes and make it a double minor against Matt Graham. Referee giving Swanson some kind of explanation, and my guess would be that the explanation is, we already checked you for blood, and you didn't have any before, so we're not checking you again. There's 2 minutes up for Matt Graham right now. Nothing up for Troy Harwell. So it's possible that Graham and Harwell each picked up a penalty on their little scuffle. And Graham got the extra 2 for the high stick. That does seem to be the case here, as Brockway and LaBelle are getting the explanations. So Hat Tricks back to the power play, their 4th of this game. It's the 2-minute high sticking call to Matt Graham, the extra 2, as Graham and Harwell each got 2 for roughing. Reggie Millette will step in to serve the 2 minutes for Matt Graham, as Graham will have to serve all 4. Ruiz and Hakela on the face-off, and it's one back by Johnny Ruiz. Say check. The Ruiz one-timer, kick save Cooper. They try and send it back on net, and a sliding block by Artu Hakela to keep Tomasi from an attempt at the empty cage. Cooper scrambled back over, but a great 2-pad stack from Artu Hakela. There's Ruiz on the outside, sent it right through the goal mouth. Pamelayan trying to keep it away from Luke James. He couldn't, but James couldn't get it past LaBelle. Pamelayan up high, LaBelle. One-time pass down low, looking for Pamelayan, was out of his reach. And James this time goes hard off the glass and out. Prowlers trying to get all 4 off. They do successfully as LaBelle comes back to collect it from Penton. LaBelle off to the outside, but Favaro breaks up that play and sends it down. Ruiz had Bucell to deal with as Bucell got on his horse to start hustling. Penton came all the way out. Johnson from a knee got it off to Lockney. Here's Bucell. Lockney! And he couldn't get the pass through cleanly. Lockney unable to collect it. He might have thought he got hooked, but no call. Favaro able to dump it all the way down, and Lockney is going to race after it and force Penton to make a play. Penton just forced it right up the boards. Tecumbe steals it, but Lockney was still in the offensive zone. He dove. Valiant effort from Lucas Lockney, but just not enough, as Vinny Tecumbe brought it back in offside. And the Prowlers getting some good opportunities shorthanded. We have to go back to the 2-pad stack by Artu Hakela, as Ruiz let a good shot go that Cooper made the save on. Juicy rebound came over to Tomasi. He wasn't going to have a great shot on it, but he was still going to be able to push it back on net. Artu Hakela, a great 2-pad stack. Speaking of Hakela, he just got knocked into the Hat Tricks bench to the delight of the crowd. Newberg down for Belfay, taking bumps from Parsons. Millette is out of the box after serving the 2 from Matt Graham. We're back to 5-on-5. 3-a-side scrum in the corner. Puck pops loose. Legkov, watched by Hakela. Legkov still churning. Spinorama in front. Couldn't find a teammate, and it comes right to Millette. Tecumbe hustling to join him. Millette, Tecumbe, and too many men on the ice against the Prowlers. They had a 2-on-1, and there were 6 men on the ice. And associate head coach Chris Paulin will not be happy about that one. Alex Johnson getting the explanation. The Hat-Tricks will go to their 5th power play of this game. And as a coach, the too many men on the ice penalties are the ones that frustrate you the most. AJ Schlepp will head over to serve. And now AJ Schlepp will go back to the bench, as I believe it has to be somebody who is on the ice. AJ Schlepp is just too big to sneak into the penalty box pretending he was on the ice. Lucas Lockney will be the one to serve instead. A 10:18 left to go in period 2. Lockney serving the too many men on the ice call for the Prowlers. LaBelle down to Zajac. All the way around to Masi. Ruiz couldn't keep it in, but LaBelle could. Zajac recollects for Danbury. Emeleon taken in by Favaro. Johnson takes it away, tried to loft it high, ended up in the slot, pinballing around, and no shot comes from the Hat-Tricks there. LaBelle up top. Zajac, watched by Favaro. LaBelle wrists it through and a save by Cooper. Had Pameleon right in front of him. Federley settles and sends it all the way down. And now a Prowler down behind the play. Luke James. I didn't see what happened. Didn't end up on our feed here. I didn't see what happened, but Luke James slow to his skates. We may have another penalty coming when we come back. Prowlers up 2-0 in Danbury. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
Hockey is like a business. One missed pass can derail the perfect plan. Have Taft Consulting help you get your whole team on the same page. They have the expertise to help you follow through on all your goals. Find out how they can help you today by emailing taftconsulting@outlook.com.
Explore 140 miles of stunning shoreline along Lake Huron in Michigan's Thumb Coast. Begin your adventure on a blanket of golden sand at one of our serene beaches. Connect with the historic atmosphere of our region's nautical influence and reconnect with friends under a blanket of stars. Plan your perfect getaway at bluewater.org.
They're still chatting here in Danbury. Nobody's gone over to the penalty box as of yet. Looks like Jesse Swanson heading that direction right now. While looking for a game day meal, check out Zip Sauce Burger, located in the Industrial Park Marathon. Zip Sauce is the official burger of the Port Huron Prowlers. Swanson has taken a seat in the home penalty box. Josh LaBelle and Austin Federley getting the explanations in the referee circle. Looks like this will negate the rest of the Hat-Tricks power play. And I guess the question is, how much is it for Jesse Swanson? They have not put anything up on the board as of yet. Two-0 Port Huron, just past the midway point of period 2. Goals from Brett Lockhart and Reggie Millette. First of the season for each of those two. And we have 5 up on the board, and Zach Pameleon's number is the one up there, so it looks like a 5 in a game for Zach Pameleon. Pamelayan, a game misconduct for slashing. So we'll get 4-on-4 for 1:09, and then we will have a Prowlers power play. Millette with a good stick, able to send that pass up out of play. Are we going to the timeout now? Well, I guess they're going to the TV timeout now. So we'll just talk our way through it. I did not see the play on Luke James, but he was down on the ice. It was away from the puck, and it ended up being a 5-minute major and a game misconduct for Zach Pamelayan for slashing. And that means the Prowlers will be on a lengthy man advantage opportunity in 58 seconds once the 4-on-4 concludes. A great opportunity to work on the power play. 9:16 left to go in period 2. And a good weekend so far for the Prowlers. The win last night. They've looked good here tonight. Although Reed Cooper has certainly had to bail them out a few times. I'm sure that will please former goaltender and associate head coach Chris Paulin. You know, the Prowlers coaches room is really great for a member of the media to ask questions because you have a forward, a defenseman, and a goaltender in there. So you know you can ask each guy about different positions, and you know you're getting the expertise. So it's great to have all three sets of expertise, especially the goaltending expertise in that office. Of course, Chris Paulin, in his third year on the Prowlers coaching staff, got the promotion to associate head coach earlier this summer. Prowlers moving up with numbers, a 3-on-1 if they hurry. It's Millette off to Bazal. His shot punched out by Penton. Now the hat tricks look for a counter, but Leitkov couldn't field it cleanly. Favaro giving Belfay some trouble. Now Favaro steps off the wall. Gets in. Favaro trying to get away from Delary. Does. Tried to center for Bazal. Didn't get to him cleanly. Puck was loose. Nobody could pick it up. And now Johnson resets. Bazal turns and looks. Fires it all the way around. Took a funny hop off the corner boards, and Penton had to be ready. Hat-trick send a 2-line pass that ends up on Brett Lockhart's stick. Lockney is out of the box. So this is a Prowlers power play now for the next 3:45. Hat-trick dump it all the way down. Of course, Matt Graham, part of the top power play unit for the Prowlers, still to serve some time as he got 2 penalties on that play. As Tomasi sent it towards the net. It was blocked by Favaro, who went tumbling into the boards. Meanwhile, Lockhart over to Marty on the left wing side. Prowlers look to set up. Marty around behind to Bucell. Lockhart, Favaro. Now Marty looks towards the net. Pass down low. One-timer, score! Arttu Heikkilä with his first in the Fed off the tic-tac-toe passing, and the Prowlers make it 3-0. Marty to Bucell to Arttu Heikkilä. Great shot from the Finn. Prowlers will still have 3:07 of power play time on the major penalty, but they do get their second power play goal of this season. Reggie Millette takes the drop from Federley. Matt Graham is out of the box and on this top power play unit again for Port Huron. Lockney on the left wing. Looking towards Millette. That was picked off. Here comes Ruiz on a shorthanded break. Federley hustling. Ruiz stopped by Cooper, who just got a piece. Now Graham across to Millette. Johnson hustling to the cage. Now Millette to Graham, and pass was in his skates. Graham tried to push it out in front. Ruiz, as he was spinning down to the ice, able to send it down. Cooper up to Federley, his team changing. Saucers it across for Reggie Millette. Millette starts the engines. Drops it, Lockney with 3 hat tricks guarding. Lockney pulls up to the top, Federley. Wrists it through, it's blocked. Millette just couldn't keep it in as it hit him and fell. Prowlers recollect. Lockhart fresh off the bench, dances around LaBelle. Lockhart dumps it down deep as he took a hit from Newberg. Lockney spins away from LaBelle. Floats it up top. Bucell. Lockney. Favaro. Now Lockhart takes a look, thought about the shot. Newberg was in the shooting lane. Lockney for Favaro again. Favaro, Lockney straight on. His shot changed direction, saved Penton. Rebound was blocked, and Favaro unable to keep it in. Minute 15 left on the major penalty. Prowlers already have 1 on it. Bucell sends it down deep. Marty from the outside couldn't get it on net. Dylan Marty's been flying around all game long. Almost got a good chance there as Favaro comes back to reset things for the Prowlers. Favaro up for Marty. Into the offensive zone. Stops up. Favaro, center point. Off to Lockhart on the right wing. Back to Favaro. He fumbled it a bit. Now the hat tricks look to take advantage shorthanded. Lockhart hustling back to negate that rush. Lockhart with it. Starts up slowly, 20 seconds left on the major penalty. Johnson had it poked off his stick by Esposito as he tried to enter the zone. Graham blew a tire, but he got it over to Millette. Now Johnson, Federley. Looks over to Millette. To the net, he shoots it wide. Bizal on it. Power play expires for the Prowlers, but they get 1 on it. Under 5 to go, it's a 3-0 game. Graham behind the cage. Looking out towards Millette. Comes to Federley at the top. He wrists it through. That was stopped by Penton. Fronduto got it up to Esposito. Gave it back. Floated all the way across to Jesse Swanson. Long range try. Stopped by Cooper. And Federley comes back to collect the rebound. Federley, 2-line pass looking for DeCumbus. LaBelle played it out of the zone with his hand. And that is a hand pass against the Hat Tricks. 3:52 left to go in period 2. Artu Hekelas, first as a Prowler, has made it 3-0 Port Huron. We'll be right back to Danbury in just a few moments.
What's more authentic than a Hungry Howie's Detroit-style pizza? Nothing. We're not playing around with the pizza of our birthplace. Thick crust, cheese to the edge, sauce on the top. Where it belongs. We've seen a lot of fakes out there. Not here. This is authentic Detroit-style pizza. Order yours now online for $12.99. We sauce the top and rep for the 313 everywhere. We do bold. Hungry Howie's.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rearview mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Under 4 to play in the Hungry Howie's second period. Prowlers with a 3-0 lead here in Danbury as Parsons tried to whip it towards the net. Was blocked. AJ Schlepp lost it. There's Tomasi for Legkov. He ran over Parsons, but Parsons did his job. He separated Legkov from the puck. LaBelle able to chip it in deep. Legkov takes a hit from a couple of Prowlers. Tomasi throws a bump on DeCumbis. Luke James up for Millette, left wing side, working on LaBelle. Millette backpedaling to Hakela, fresh off the bench. Got through him. Johnson backing him up. Able to cycle down to Graham. All the way across to Millette. In the corner. Gets it up top. Johnson, D-to-D. Favaro lets it go. Change direction. Penton able to make the save. And then Reed Cooper has to make a save on a 190-foot shot by Josh LaBelle. Hakela off the boards. Had to come back to him. Graham in front. Penton swimming. Now Millette scoops it up. Penton trying to get his goal stick back. He does. Meanwhile, Millette down to Favaro. In tight shot. And that one off the side of the cage. Ruiz off for Mavalli. And Mavalli got the best of that hit with Marty. Up comes Belfay, 1-on-3. Favaro and Belfay come together. And Bucell chips it past Dellery. Bucell drops the shoulder to the net, just couldn't get back to it on the other side. Parsons on goal was blocked. And back comes Legkov with under 2 to play. Legkov couldn't sweep it out in front, and Belfay saw it covered by Reed Cooper. Well, coming up on the second intermission report here on the PHP Network, Brady Beaton will break down the first 2 periods. We will also take a look at the Prowlers' upcoming schedule, out-of-town scores, and more. It's all coming up on the second intermission report here on the PHP Network. Hat tricks with the offensive zone draw, comes back to the line, and James able to chip it out. Federley will win the race for icing, but does come in on Penton, and Penton forced to cover up for a whistle and a face-off. A minute 37 left to go here in period 2. 3-0 Prowlers. Top line out there for Port Huron for this offensive zone draw. Graham wins it back. Lockney, the quick shot, just slipped wide along the ice. Johnson gave it away. Here's Harwell on his backhand, and Cooper got a piece. Up comes Graham on the counter. Lockney with numbers joining him. Gets to the corner. Couldn't sweep it out in front as the puck jumped on him at the last moment. Swanson up to Harwell. Brockway watching him, and Troy Harwell rips it around as we hit the final minute of play in the second period. Favaro led it on towards Graham. That didn't work. Instead, it's Connor Craig turning it the other direction. Ruiz a shot. That was blocked. Craig tried to put it back in front, and Cooper slams his glove down to cover up for a face-off. .8 up on the big board here at Danbury Ice Arena. Shots right now tied up at 21 apiece. Prowlers have certainly had the better of the play in period number 2. See if the Hat-Tricks can get something here as Craig's long-range wrister right into the breadbasket of Reed Cooper. Another stop for Cooper, who's having himself a fantastic weekend. We'll have Bucell and Ruiz lined up for this face-off. They tie it up. It's in Bucell's skates. He's able to slip it out for Hakela. Fired around off the stanchion. Bucell overskated, as did LaBelle. Hakela able to keep it in momentarily. LaBelle working on it, and now Hakela takes it out of the pile. Sharp angle try, missed the net. And Legkov working on Brockway, up with speed. Legkov drops the shoulder, put it out in front, but only found Brett Lockhart's stick. They blow it dead. They say the net came off. Tough to tell from up here, but looks like it's on its post, but they blew it dead anyway with 5.2 left in period number 2. Again, be sure to stick around for the second intermission. Brady Beaton will take you through it. Lots of good to break down for him from a Prowlers perspective. Off this face-off, a quick save by Cooper. Came back out in front, and Brockway able to kick it to the corner, and that will do it. 40 minutes down. The Prowlers a 3-0 lead. Shots on goal so far, 27 for Danbury, 21 for Port Huron. And the Prowlers 20 minutes away from getting themselves a series sweep to open the weekend. Goal scorers tonight so far for the Prowlers: Brett Lockhart, Reggie Millette, and Artu Hakela with his first as a Prowler. Well, once again, coming up in the second intermission report here on the PHP Network, Brady Beaton back in our McMorran Place studios. We'll break down the game so far. We'll look at what's ahead for the Prowlers, out-of-town scores, stats, and more. It's all coming your way, so keep it here on the PHP Network. Well, secure your seats for the Prowlers' next home game. It's their first home game of the 2025-26 season. Friday, October the 17th, they host the Watertown Wolves with puck drop at McMorran Place scheduled for 7:05 p.m. Tickets are available online at phprowlers.com/tickets, by phone at 810-985-6166, or by scanning the QR code on your screen now. That's online at phprowlers.com/tickets, by phone at 810-985-6166. And you can scan the QR code on your screen now to experience the new show at McMorran Place. Coming up next, again, when we come back, Brady Beaton in our McMorran Place studios will break down the first 40 minutes of play, and we will send it to him, and then we'll be back in Danbury in just 17 or so short minutes. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the PHP Network.
Head over to the Birchwood Mall for your shopping and entertainment needs. Hop on the carousel, shoot some hoops, or visit some of their great stores such as Gerlach's Woodworks, where they specialize in handcrafted wooden decorations. Add to your fan cave a Prowlers themed creation. Upgrade your bathroom at Luxury Bath Mobility Remodelers. They can fully customize your bath or shower to fit your needs, and they also do flooring. For the sports fan in your life, pick up a unique gift from Pro Edge Sports. Jam-packed with all kinds of memorabilia. There's something for everyone. And it's not a trip to the mall without Auntie Anne's pretzels. Grab a freshly made full-size cup of pretzel bites and wash it down with some frozen lemonade. At the Birchwood Mall, you can find this and more. Visit them on 24th Ave in Fort Gratiot.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rearview mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
This isn't working. LJ, pass me those flyers. No look behind the back pass. It's a whole play. I'll take. Come on.
Up. Close the gap. Close the gap. What are we saying? This isn't working. We need a shift change. Let's bring in the professionals.
Congratulations on your engagement again, man. You know, you should get some life insurance.
I never really thought about that. How would I do that?
We can help you with that at Zach Egan State Farm. Congratulations on getting married, man. Have you gotten a house?
We just got one, actually, yeah.
Well, if you want, we can help you out with life insurance at Zach Egan State Farm to cover your mortgage. Is Olin a year old now?
He is.
Wow. Have you guys got life insurance set up on him yet?
I haven't even thought about it yet.
Oh.
How would I go about that?
Well, we can help you with that at Zach Egan State Farm. High five?
Yeah, hon, we should have gotten life insurance years ago.
Hey, Ken. We've actually got a policy for people your age at Zach Egan State Farm. Give us a call.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hi guys, we just stopped at Industrial Park Marathon to get some fuel and some snacks before the Prowlers game at McMorran.
Nice. Yeah, we just stopped by here at Industrial Park Marathon so I can get a Slurpee before the game.
Wait till after the game. If the Prowlers score 3 or more goals, Slurpees will be free.
Thanks for the info. I'm going to get my Slurpee after, but we'll see you at the Prowlers game.
See you at the game. Go Prowlers!
Back here at the PHP Network, live from the McMorran Studios back here in Port Huron. Prowlers with a commanding 3-0 lead after 40 minutes. It's been a lot of fun on the road, but folks, it's going to be a lot more fun when you come and pack McMorran Arena next weekend. It's the start of a 6-game homestand, the home opener. What could be a better night to signify hockey being back in Port Huron? Game homestand. That's next Friday, a 7:05 puck drop against the newly branded Watertown Wolves. Then the following night, next Saturday, local business night featuring specialty jerseys with a bunch of different local businesses that have been so gracious to help us out in the Port Huron area. And then the 6-game homestand will continue with the first ever meeting between the Port Huron Prowlers and the Topeka Scarecrows. You remember the Prowlers went out to Kansas for a neutral site game, help get the excitement going out in Kansas for that one. October 24th is Oktoberfest / Michigan State night, with October 25th Country Music Night with Q Country 107. Port Huron trying to come back to McMorran. It would be their first ever 2-0 start, their first 2-0 start since the 2022-23 season. That season they started 2-0 with a couple of wins over the then first-year expansion team Motor City Rockers. And going out to Danbury and getting a couple wins would be rare. They did so back in the 2019-2020 season. That was a pair of overtime wins, and that was a pretty darn good team before the season got shut down. It's been a fun one out there. We'll take a break, come back, we'll look at the stats, take a look around the Fed, and keep everything going right here from the McMorran Studios on the PHP Network.
Head over to the Birchwood Mall for your shopping and entertainment needs. Hop on the carousel, shoot some hoops, or visit some of their great stores such as Gerlach's Woodworks, where they specialize in handcrafted wooden decorations. Add to your fan cave a Prowlers themed creation. Upgrade your bathroom at Luxury Bath Mobility Remodelers. They can fully customize your bath or shower to fit your needs, and they also do flooring. For the sports fan in your life, pick up a unique gift from Pro Edge Sports. Jam-packed with all kinds of memorabilia. There's something for everyone. And it's not a trip to the mall without Auntie Anne's pretzels. Grab a freshly made full-size cup of pretzel bites and wash it down with some frozen lemonade. At the Birchwood Mall, you can find this and more. Visit them on 24th Ave in Fort Gratiot.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rear-view mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
This isn't working. LJ, pass me those flyers. No look behind the back pass. It's a whole play. LJ, come on. Gap up. Close the gap. Close the gap. What are we saying? This isn't working. We need a shift change. Let's bring in the professionals.
Congratulations on your engagement again, man. You know, you should get some life insurance.
I never really thought about that. How would I do that?
We can help you with that at Zach Egan State Farm. Congratulations on getting married, man. Have you gotten a house?
We just got one, actually, yeah.
Well, if you want, we can help you out with life insurance at Zach Egan State Farm to cover your mortgage. Is Olin a year old now?
He is.
Wow. Have you guys got life insurance set up on him yet?
I haven't even thought about it yet.
Oh.
How would I go about that?
Well, we can help you with that at Zach Egan State Farm. High five?
Yeah, hon, we should have gotten life insurance years ago.
Hey, Ken. We've actually got a policy for people your age at Zach Egan State Farm. Give us a call.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hi guys, we just stopped at Industrial Park Marathon to get some fuel and some snacks before the Prowlers game at McMorran.
Nice. Yeah, we just stopped by here at Industrial Park Marathon so I can get a Slurpee before the game.
Wait till after the game. If the Prowlers score 3 or more goals, Slurpees will be free.
Thanks for the info. I'm going to get my Slurpee after, but we'll see you at the Prowlers game.
See you at the game. Go
Go
Prowlers!
Prowlers!
Back here on the PHP Network, live from Port Huron, Michigan in the McMorran Studios. 3-0 Port Huron leads Danbury after 40 minutes of play. It's been a fun one in Danbury. A lot of action going on around the Fed. A lot of high-scoring games here in October as we get the season underway. Let's start. Couple New York teams. For Binghamton, you have goals from Mac Jansen, Austin Thomas, and the latest one, Cameron Cervoni. For Watertown, they had back-to-back goals, Stephen Klink and Dylan Gutierrez. Take a look at what else is going on. It's Topeka 2, Indiana 1. That one midway through the second period. TJ Sneath with the goal for Topeka. Elijah Wilson made it 2-0. And then you had Marquise Grant Mentis, NGM, gets the power play goal for Indiana. Worth noting, all 3 goals in that one on the power play. Goaltending is optional down in South Carolina as I pull up the score. Now 6-5, the PD Ice Cats on top. It has been a roller coaster. Stick with me as we go through this. The score page has been a little odd as it's changed as I've looked at it throughout the night, but the PD goals have come from Houston Wilson, Nick Gullo, Trevor Lord twice, actually 3 goals. Trevor Lord with the second hat trick of the year after Tyson Kirkby's hat trick for Binghamton a night ago. Eli Rivers with the 6th goal for PD. And for Columbus, Kyle Moore. All over the newly branded Biloxi Breakers. New name, not a new result down in Mississippi. 4-1 Monroe on top. Parker Moscal, Andrew Ballant, and Rex Mo again scoring for Monroe. Declan Conway, the lone goal for Biloxi. Out at Danbury, it's 3-0. Port Huron on top of the hat tricks, and it's been a fun one for the Prowlers. They're the only ones to light the lamp. Back in the first period, Brett Lockhart got his first of the season, assist from Brockway and Marty. And then in the second period, the score sheet is a little off. Going back and watching it, it sure as heck looked like Reggie Millette from Nick Favaro, each of them with their first goal and assist of the season. And then it was Artu Hakula getting on the board on the power play just over 12 minutes in. I believe Dylan Marty and Jamie Busell should get the assist. Danbury out shooting Port Huron 26-21 after 2 periods. But Reed Cooper, he's been perfect between the pipes. And this Port Huron team that was making strides all of last year took Binghamton to the brink in the semifinals, in the Empire Division finals. Starting to pick up where they left off. A lot of this same team has come back. This Danbury squad, a lot of penalties over the last 2 games. But you got to come to expect that with Danbury. It's just part of the brand going out to Danbury. Between last night and tonight, it was 119 total penalties between Port Huron and Danbury. Last night, 27. Tonight, 6 of them major misconducts and match penalties. That'll do it for us here in the McMorran studio. Let's go back out to Connecticut with Will Wiggleman here on the PHP Network.
Yeah, I don't know about this one, fellas.
Boys, we don't overcome adversity by backing down. But yeah, I don't know about this one.
That's reassuring.
We're so screwed.
All right, boys. Here's the game plan. LJ, you start with bananas. B-Way?
Wait, why do I have to do the bananas?
Because you're the softest on the team.
I don't want the bananas.
This thing is going to melt. We got to hurry up.
I won't do it.
Okay, both of you. I will do the bananas and the whipped cream. Fets, please continue.
Who's paying for this anyway?
I am. I just bought my tickets for the Prowlers game this weekend, and the Milk House gave me 25% off my order.
Fets, why'd you buy the tickets? You're literally on the team.
For the discount.
So are you all ready to give it a try?
Oh, we're ready.
It's true. Get 25% off your entire order at the Milk House, October through April. Simply show your ticket stubs at checkout and enjoy your discounted treat.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Welcome back to Danbury Prowlers with a 3-0 lead on the hat tricks through 40 minutes of play. Will Wiggleman back with you in the broadcast booth at Danbury Ice Arena. And, Brady Beaton talked about it a little bit. This has certainly been the Prowlers game so far, and they've done a great job at giving Reed Cooper lanes to see the puck, and Cooper's done a fantastic job himself of making sure he can see the puck, and he's getting out to his spots everywhere he needs to be, and he's just been phenomenal tonight, just like last night, as the fans who came out to see these games on the road, whether from Port Huron or the family from Massachusetts, for both Brian Parsons and Brett Lockhart, they have been treated here this evening and last night. We are just a few minutes away from puck drop on period number 3 between the Prowlers and the Hat Tricks. And we'll see if Port Huron can close this one out. This will be a nice start to the season. It'll be a first 2-0 start to a season for the Prowlers since the 2022-23 season, when they took the first 2 of a 3-game set with the Motor City Rockers, the first ever Battle of I-94 series between the Prowlers and the Rockers. Again, the goal scorers tonight, Brett Lockhart, Reggie Millette, and Artu Hakula. And of course, Millette and Lockhart's names will likely be familiar to you. Artu Hakula was signed earlier this week by the Prowlers. They finally were able to get him over from Finland, but he stayed in shape even though he wasn't participating in Prowlers training camp, as he began the year with JHT in the Swami Sarja. But a guy who spent most of his career in a great league in Finland, the Mestis, was an alternate captain for Hermes in the Mestis last season, captained a lot of teams during his U16 through U20 days. He's a guy who can be relied upon as a leader in the locker room. He's a guy that the Prowlers rely on the PK, and they put him right in the bumper spot on the power play. And the beautiful tic-tac-toe passing from Dylan Marty to Jamie Bucell to Artu Heikkila. And the Prowlers get that insurance marker. Dylan Marty leading the way for Port Huron tonight. He's been credited with 2 assists on the evening. Ben Brockway has himself an assist. So it's been a good night for the Prowlers. And of course, we've mentioned it, new owner Ken Andrews is in the building. Also, things that happen in Danbury sometimes, the clock has expired on the intermission. However, Zamboni's still out there on the ice, so we are getting a little bit of a delayed start to period 3. So we will have period 3 when we come back here in Danbury.
Yeah, I don't know about this one, fellas.
Boys, we don't overcome adversity by backing down. But yeah, I don't know about this one.
That's reassuring.
We're so screwed.
All right, boys. Here's a game plan. LJ, you start with bananas. B-Way?
Wait, why do I have to do the bananas?
Because you're the softest on the team.
I don't want the bananas.
This thing is gonna melt. We gotta hurry up.
I won't do it.
Okay, both of you. I will do the bananas and the whipped cream. Fets, please continue.
Who's paying for this anyway?
I am. I just bought my tickets for the Prowlers game this weekend, and the Milk House gave me 25% off my order.
Fets, why'd you buy the tickets? You're literally on the team.
For the discount.
So are you all ready to give it a try?
Oh, we're ready.
It's true. Get 25% off your entire order at the Milk House, October through April. Simply show your ticket stubs at checkout and enjoy your discounted treat.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Hockey is like a business. One missed pass can derail the perfect plan. Have Taft Consulting help you get your whole team on the same page. They have the expertise to help you follow through on all your goals. Find out how they can help you today by emailing taftconsulting@outlook.com.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Hello, I'm home.
There he is.
What is happening?
Relax. We won. They brought back the snack wrap. Spicy or ranch?
Spicy.
Yeah, go. Yeah. Just one little bite.
Can you stop?
Oh, sorry.
Gather your crew. Snack wrap is back.
Discover everything banking should be with Advia Credit Union, like earning real financial advantages. You can earn up to $1,000 with your new account. Plus, save an average of nearly $4,000 in interest when refinancing. Get started with a low-rate credit card balance transfer. Enjoy easy access to your money anytime, anywhere. Make the switch today at adviacu.org/real people. Advia Credit Union. Real advantages for real people.
Well, players have finally hit the ice here at Danbury Ice Arena. We get set for the start of period number 3. Prowlers and Hat-Tricks wrapping up their 2-game weekend set here on opening weekend. Next time these two teams will see each other will be just after Christmas back here in this building, December 26th and 27th. A little time to cool down, but Prowlers will be in this building twice more in December and in April. Reed Cooper in the goal crease down to our right, 27 saves on 27 shots. Kyle Penton, the goal crease to our left. 18 saves on 21 shots, and we're underway in period number 3. One off the back glass as it's dumped in by Danbury. Tomasi tried to cycle for Legkov, but Ben Brockway got in the way. Here comes Bucell, left wing, Hakula. Tried a toe drag move, left the puck behind. Tomasi up for Legkov. Works in, tried to cut to the middle. Good back check by Austin Federley, the Prowlers captain. And Bucell has an opportunity to get to the red line and toss it in, getting himself off for a change. LaBelle up for Belfay. Tried to center it for Fronduto, who could have had a lane to the net if that was a clean pass. It was not, so it's an offside against the Hat Tricks. Just 46 seconds into period number 3. Zajac and Luke James will get this face off. James, of course, his first game of the year. Got the start tonight, wearing number 22 in white. Mavalli taken in by a couple of Prowlers as he dumped it around. Nick Favaro able to one-hand it forward. Marty just dumped it down ice. And Dellery back for Danbury. Prowlers getting their top line on. Dellery looks. Now he steps out. Watched by Millette. Tipped in by Belfay. Johnson and Fronduto get there together. Belfay trying to take the puck. Had to deal with Favaro, and Johnson comes out with it. Off for Lockney. Able to get it in. Heads after it. Karasov back to defend for the Hat Tricks. One hands it along. Comes to Matt Graham. Goes up to the point to Parsons. Backhands it right down deep. LaBelle flubbed it. Millette towards Lockney. Didn't get a clean whack at it. And it was caught up in some skates before Esposito could skate out. Esposito chips it by, all by himself, and he fanned on the shot as the puck moved as he was trying to rip it. LaBelle couldn't bring in that pass cleanly. And boy, doesn't that sequence just sum up this weekend for the Hat Tricks so far. Not on the same page. Bucell cycles it down deep. Dellery has it in his skates as it took a funny hop off the corner boards. Federley trying to take advantage, but he fanned on the pass to the point. Legkov cuts to the middle, gets into the offensive end, throws on the brakes. Dellery tried to throw it on net. That was blocked by Hakula. Comes all the way around to Federley. Soft chip off the boards, and on the fresh ice sheet, that will be enough for an icing. So this line of Federley, Bucell, and Hakula will have to stick out there for the defensive zone draw. Still searching for our first shot of period 3. 2:46 gone in it. Ruiz wins it back. Dellery towards the net. That was blocked by Hakula, and it kicks up out of play. So Prowlers will finally get that much needed change and get a fresh group for this defensive zone draw. Ruiz wins it back again. Dellery goes across. Craig the one-timer. Gloved and held by Cooper. Kept in for a moment by Craig, and now chipped out by DeCumbis. 2-on-1. Bazal shoots, and he missed it wide. DeCumbis curls up top, sends it through off the post, and it pinballs to the corner. Tomasi, pardon me. Now it's Legkov on his backhand. It's a late penalty coming up against Danbury. Ruiz's shot knocked down and covered by Reed Cooper. Penalty coming up against the Prowlers, so the Hat Tricks will go to their 6th man advantage. An opportunity for Danbury to finally get on the board, but their power play has been uninspiring throughout this weekend. We'll see if they can find something here. Hat trick going with Newberg, Craig, Fronduto, Belfay, and Legkov for this man advantage. See if that grouping can find something. Graham, Hakula, Brockway, and Johnson defending for the Prowlers. This one batted out by Hakula and all the way down. Vinny DeCumbis takes a seat in the penalty box for the first time this season. Legkov cycles it all the way around. Craig grabs it at the left point, walks the blue line, off for Belfay, back to Craig. And now a whistle. Referee in the corner had his hand up. Josh Newberg also put his hands up, and maybe Josh Newberg with a little crease violation as they'll move the faceoff outside. That is my only guess. They didn't mess with the net or anything, so I don't know if it came off its moorings. Off this draw, Federley couldn't launch it into Hat-Trick's territory. Nice leaping grab by Craig. Here comes Lightcov with some speed. Goes on the brakes, takes a bump. Newberg rims it around. James hustling after it. Craig got there first and he kept it alive. Parsons steps in front of Newberg and he's able to chop it out. Belfay back for it. Craig one touch to the head. Prowlers hustling off the bench as Newberg drops it off for Legkov. Across LaBelle, one-timer, just a bit outside. But the Prowlers can't clear. Comes in front, Cooper the save. Pops over a hat trick. Lockney finally able to track it down. Lockhart couldn't get much on that clearing attempt as that puck was bouncing and spinning on the ice. Now LaBelle will reset, both teams finishing up some changes as the big man skates ahead. Ruiz flies in on the right wing side. Muscled off by Brockway. Johnson with it, trying to spin away from Dellery. Off for Bucell, and Bucell able to clear. Final 10 seconds ticking off the penalty to Vinny DeCumbis. LaBelle off to the left wing side. Zajac couldn't skate in with it. LaBelle having to hustle back as Hakelo was looking for that loose puck. Up comes Matt Graham with an outside try, rising into the protective netting, out of play. Prowlers PK, 6 for 6. It's still 3-0 in Danbury. We'll be right back.
Hi, what can I get for you?
I'd like some McMorrin fries, please.
All right, that's going to be $4. Okay.
She shoots, she scores with the new Prowlers debit card.
Don't you have somewhere to be? The game's on.
Get your Prowlers debit card only at Flagship Community Federal Credit Union, located on Lapeer Road in Port Huron. Flagship Federal Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA. I just cannot help but bust out laughing at some of our commercials here this year. I hope you all are enjoying them at home. I hope you'll go support some of our great partners that we have here mentioned on the broadcast and also mentioned in the arena as we get to this face-off. Between Graham and Newberg. Actually, it'll be Reggie Millette and Josh Newberg. Karasov goes up towards Harwell, just out of his reach. Nick Favaro back for it. Reverse up the near side. Harwell kind of jumped when he threw the hit into Favaro. And here come the Prowlers, 3-on-2. Lockney drops it. Johnson fumbled with it a bit. Took a hard hit from Swanson as he did. Harwell looking up ice. Soft pass for Newberg. Gets the red line and gets it in. Johnson with his head up. Up to Millette. He had it poked off his stick. Legkov the other direction. Delayed penalty coming up against Reggie Millette as he tried to lift Legkov's stick. So extra skater on now for Danbury as Legkov goes to the line. Craig, LaBelle, one-timer Zajac. That was blocked on the way through. Legkov off for Craig. On goal, that was blocked. I think it hit Tomasi on the way through. But a hooking penalty signaled against Reggie Millette. He's a little dumbfounded by it, but it will be the 7th power play of the game for the Danbury Hat Tricks. Well, the Prowlers are on the ice, so raise a glass of Proper 12 Irish whiskey. Proper 12, the official shot of the Port Huron Prowlers. Please drink responsibly. So the Prowlers PK continues to get some work, as Ruiz will draw against James. And Ruiz won it back for Danbury. LaBelle looking in Ruiz's direction, comes off the corner boards, popped right out into the slot. And Luke James able to rescue it. He's hustling up, and he dumped it in just past LaBelle. Tecumbus bails out and heads to the bench to get a change. Zajac all the way around. Marty got there first, and he cleared it, but into his own bench. So a break there for the Hat Tricks. Instead of having to chase 200 feet, they will get an offensive zone face-off. Still early in their 7th man advantage of the night. Ruiz wins the face-off back. LaBelle sends it all the way around. Brockway pins it. Took a hit from Tomasi. Tomasi knocked down by Favaro. A penalty coming up. And Nick Favaro seems to be guilty of cross-checking. So a 5-on-3, a lengthy one for the Danbury Hat Tricks. Minute and 22 seconds as Nick Favaro heads to the box. Still lots of time to go in this game, so these are important penalty kills for the Prowlers. Lockhart, Brockway, and Federley, the threesome for Port Huron. Jesse Swanson is out there, and he'll likely just try and screen Reed Cooper on this man advantage as the Hat Tricks set up. And indeed, Swanson goes right to the blue paint. One-timer by Zajac was off the glove of Cooper. LaBelle, Ruiz, one-timer. That might have been blocked by Brockway, or it whistled off the glass. LaBelle sent it down low. Lockhart read that one like a book, and he softly clears it down ice. Prowlers get a new 3 out. Ruiz up for Tomasi. Parsons and Zajac battling for it. 3 hat tricks in there. Tomasi wins the puck, but his pass off a Prowler sticking out of the zone. Ruiz enters again. Swanson looking shot. Now he drops it off to Masi. LaBelle. Ruiz. Back to LaBelle. Doesn't shoot. Down to Zaitchek. And Alex Johnson with a nice play. Take it off of Zaitchek's stick and clear all the way down. 10 seconds until Reggie Millette is allowed to step out of the sin bin. Craig drops it for Legkov. Fronduto leaves it for Belfay. Centering pass, Swanson off the board. And now Millette hit from behind by Fronduto. That will draw a call. And now Millette going after Fronduto. Gennaro Fronduto, the rookie, made his pro debut last night with a hit from behind on Reggie Millette. We'll see if Millette may have evened this up when he went back after Fronduto. We will find out, but that was certainly a hit from behind. Hat-tricks have been pushing in this third period. They have 5 of the first 6 in this frame, and now Jesse Swanson starting things with Ben Brockway. Jamie Bussell got involved as well. And Swanson angrily yelling at the Prowler bench, and you see, or you can't see, but just off to the left of your screen, the Prowlers fans who made the trip are giving Jesse Swanson the business. And now Swanson is yelling right back at the Prowler fans. Millette is back in the box. Fronduto's in the box as well. Now Brockway and Newberg, or Lockhart and Newberg, pardon me, we're having some words. Still lots of time left to go in this game for things to boil over. Lots to pay attention to around the rink right now. Things seem to be settling down as of now. There's 28 seconds left on Nick Favaro's penalty. We'll see how all of this affects on-ice manpower. We have Reggie Millette for roughing and Gennaro Fronduto for boarding. And it looks like those 2 penalties might cancel out. And indeed that is the case. Austin Federley giving the motion to his bench. I appreciate Austin Federley, very good with the hand signals. It's helpful for me up here as well, not just for Chris Paulin and the rest of the coaching staff on the bench. .28 seconds left. And was, again, still a 5-on-4 in favor of the Danbury Hat-Tricks for on-ice manpower. John Breerchin trying to get himself an extra timeout, chatting with his players, while the Prowlers are all ready to go. Breerchin will send out Craig, Delarue, Swanson, Belfay, and Legkov. So really going into the blender to try and get something going on this power play unit, on this power play at all. And now Schlepp and Swanson having words. Schlepp is going to have to go back to the bench. Now we're set to go for some hockey, except Matt Graham has been kicked out of the faceoff. One more delay, and Lucas Lockney will draw against Austin Belfay. Up the draw, it's Brockway, launching it only as far as Delarue, but then it goes off Delarue's glove and into the Prowler bench. Graham finished his check on Delarue, and we start up again. Ben Brockway coming in to defend his head coach. Jesse Swanson tossed off his gloves and just went to grab Ben Brockway. And this could cause some more issues. And Swanson just put down Matt Graham, it looked like, or Ben Brockway. Graham wants after Swanson. Or no, it's not Brockway, I'm sorry. There is an unidentified Prowler down on his hands and knees on the near side boards. Jesse Swanson just grabbed whoever he could and threw him down to the ice, whether or not he was involved in the play. And it was Alex Johnson who's now getting back to his skates. Jesse Swanson trying to pump up the crowd that has not had much to cheer about tonight. Alex Johnson having a conversation with some fans from Section 102, and Jesse Swanson is being asked to leave. Federley and Ruiz having an animated conversation with a referee. And now they still bark at each other as they head back to their respective benches. Jesse Swanson was in no way involved in the scrum. He threw up his gloves about 15 feet away from the scrum, grabbed the first person he could, and threw him down to the ice. And really, I don't know what the point of that was, to be honest with you. And even Alex Johnson wasn't totally involved in the scrum. At best, he was an outside part of it, but it was between Dellary and Graham originally. Ben Brockway came in and threw some cross checks on Dellary. And then Swanson came in and did whatever he did. Let's add to these penalty minute totals, shall we? Both Graham and Dellary have headed to the penalty boxes, which makes sense. Ben Brockway's going that way as well. I'm not sure what Brockway did. Maybe it was for those little cross checks on Dellary after he hit Graham. Ruiz and Federley, by the way, have been replaced by Jamie Bucell and Josh LaBelle, who are playing a little bit nicer over at the referee circle as the referees chat. Right now I see Jesse Swanson 5 for fighting and Matt Graham 5 for fighting on my sheet. Of course, Jesse Swanson, a guy well known around the league for one thing, and that's getting himself in the penalty box. In his career, 13 games, including last night, 143 penalty minutes and for those of you who are not great at math, I'm in that boat as well, but I did this math earlier in the day. That's over 10 penalty minutes per game. And again, a 13-game FPHL career. He has also been suspended twice in his career for a total of 6 games. Coming into this season, he had been suspended for half as many games as he had played in his FPHL career. That includes the 5-game suspension all the way back in October of last season for an incident in Binghamton where things got loose. There's some fans having conversations over by the Prowlers penalty box with 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of the Prowlers sitting in there. Reggie Millette, the primary Prowler, barking back. But these fans are trying to get themselves to the exits early and beat the traffic, I guess. Not sure what other reason they'd have for heading out the doors in the middle of the 3rd period of action. Finally, we get the explanations here. At least Jamie Bucell and Josh LaBelle do. Reggie Millette must not be saying anything too bad because his head coach, Matt Graham, is about a foot to his right and not telling him to be quiet. Now Bucell and LaBelle are talking to each other with the referees there. Hopefully they don't get as heated as Ruiz and Federley looked to be just a few moments ago. Although at this point, that might be a few minutes ago. We have a 5 up on the board for Jesse Swanson, which I guess is progress towards ending this delay and getting back to playing hockey. We still have 11:07 left in this third period, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're staying up late with us. I'll send a message to those working at Wings. I'm sorry if you have to work late tonight because of this game, but we appreciate you guys for having our Prowler watch parties there. Hope everyone's enjoying those this weekend. All right, a couple more penalties to tell you about. Ben Brockway gets a 2-minute minor for abuse of officials. Jesse Swanson is out of the game with a 10-minute misconduct for fighting after the original altercation. So how about that? Jesse Swanson keeping up his penalty minute average as he gets the 5 and the 10 and the game misconduct. Update on the penalty box shenanigans. Ben Brockway also now involved in the chatting. And now the fans from Section 9 from Port Huron have no one else to cheer for except for me. I wish we could put the camera on them, but they were turning around and cheering for us up here. So, again, we appreciate them for coming out and supporting the Prowlers, and I think the Prowlers gave them their money's worth. Can't wait to see them next Friday for the Prowlers home opener. As October the 17th. Get your tickets now and check out the whole show, the brand new show at McMorran Place. All right, we're lined up, ready for a face-off. Here we are. 5 minutes up for Jesse Swanson on the board, so 22 seconds of 4-on-4, and then the Prowlers will go to their second major power play of this hockey game. I'm not sure how this all adds up. Actually, now there's 2 up for Ben Brockway, so it's a 4-on-3 for Danbury for 22 seconds, then 4-on-4, then a Prowlers 5-on-4. So the hat tricks will get some more power play time here. 5-on-3 as LaBelle looks over towards Ruiz, now looks towards the net, now Craig, and he gives it to him. LaBelle, one-timer, blocked by Bucell on a knee, and he gets taps from his bench. Ruiz off to the outside to LaBelle. Legkov dangles in, and he couldn't get that shot all the way through, but another penalty coming up, slashing the call. It goes against the Prowlers. So the 4-on-3 will continue for 1 minute and 34 seconds. Who's heading to the box this time? It looks to be Brett Lockhart. Speaking of the penalty box, every Prowler in the box right now is pressed up against the glass having chats with the fans down there, and Brett Lockhart in there to join the conversation. I think they need to set up a conference table in the Prowlers penalty box at this point. We have 4 in there right now. Would have been 5, but Favaro got out a second ago. Ruiz one-timer, kick saved by Cooper on the rebound, pushed just wide. Kick, saving a beauty from the Prowlers netminder. LaBelle, down low, Legkov. Looks, up top, LaBelle, Legkov. Stick lift by Johnson, puck's in the corner. Federley and Ruiz both slapped at it. Ends up on LaBelle's tape. Legkov walks up high, watched by Favaro. Ruiz, LaBelle tried to send it across, off a stick, Legkov recovers. LaBelle, Legkov, Ruiz straight on, and that one wouldn't go. Deflected wide either off of Cooper or the hat trick in front. Here's Legkov with a pass down low off a Prowler's stick. Craig, up to the point, Ruiz. Legkov. Ruiz towards LaBelle, his stick fails him. Has to go off to the bench, so it's 3-on-3 for right now in the Prowler zone. Pass out to Lykov, backhand, and Cooper stayed right with him, stretching out that left pad to make the play. Puck popped up in the air, it stayed in play, and the Prowlers clear it. Final 9 seconds ticking off the 4-on-3 power play as Lykov speeds back in. There's an inside-out move, slipped it right through the crease. Brockway out of the box. We're in some 4-on-4 for 21 seconds, and then the Prowlers will get to start their major power play. Here comes Belfay from the outside, has to avoid LaBelle's broken stick. Prowlers come in and take the puck from him, and Parsons gets it up to James. James able to touch it in. Parsons, the defenseman leading the rush. Sharp angle try. Penton has it, and he'll hang on for a whistle and a face-off. We will take a timeout, a couple of deep breaths, and have a Prowlers power play for 2.5 minutes when we return here on the PHP Network.
Hello, I'm home.
There he is.
What is happening?
Relax. We won. They brought back the snack wrap. Spicy or ranch?
Spicy.
Yeah, go. Yeah.
Just one little bite.
Can you stop?
Oh, sorry.
Gather your crew. Snack Wrap is back.
Discover everything banking should be with Advia Credit Union, like earning real financial advantages. You can earn up to $1,000 with your new account. Plus, save an average of nearly $4,000 in interest when refinancing. Get started with a low-rate credit card balance transfer. Enjoy easy access to your money anytime, anywhere. Make the switch today at adviacu.org/real people. Advia Credit Union. Real advantages for real people.
Back here in Danbury, stop me if you've heard this one before. A player has skated into the penalty box. Brian Parsons is heading over there just before that TV timeout. He cross-checked, or gave a little shot to Troy Harwell away from the play as he was skating back to the bench. And now Brian Parsons is being escorted to the dressing room. And that's it for his night. Prowlers down to 4 defensemen now. May see Austin Federley take some shifts on the back end. Welcome to Prowlers Hat Tricks, folks. This is the new hottest rivalry in the FPHL, and it all started with a flag plant on Easter Sunday. Must-see TV for sure. 16 is up on the board for 2 minutes. That's Brian Parsons' number. So we'll have 2 minutes of 4-on-4, and then maybe, just maybe, the Prowlers can get some power play time off this 5-minute major. Where's the face-off? That's the next question. It's down in Prowlers territory. Brady Beaton with the tough job trying to get our score bug all set. 8:39 left to go. And now AJ Schlepp is heading to the penalty box for reasons. Actually, no, I know the reason. He's serving for Brian Parsons. Just kidding. It's a reason that makes sense. He'll serve the 2 for Brian Parsons. We get back to hockey, we'll see for how long. Brockway chased out, up to Bucell. He fires it in. For those keeping track at home, we are in 4-on-4 right now. Lykov, watched by Hakula. And behind the net is Archer Karasov, the 21-year-old in his pro debut. Up to Lykov, who was his New Jersey 87's teammate back in the EHL last year. He made his pro debut last night as Ruiz turnaround try wouldn't go. And the faceoff comes out of the zone as Ruiz tried it from a sharp angle. There's currently nobody in the Hat-Tricks penalty box, but someone will have to step out of the box when Jesse Swanson's minute 50 is done. I hope somebody has figured that out, and somebody has. Ethan Esposito will head over to the box. That'll give us a chance to tell you about Ethan Esposito, the 22-year-old who plays college hockey at Sioux College. Collegiate signing for Baton Rouge last spring. Had an assist in 5 games for the Zydeco before coming to Danbury as a free agent. Back underway, Alex Johnson, chased by Zajac. Nick Favaro. On for Lucas Lockney, working on LaBelle. Lockney on his backhand, sent it all the way across, and Johnson gives it to Lockney. Favaro on goal, that was off the stick of Belfay. Millette resets at center. Lockney drops it off for Favaro. Behind the cage, Lockney. Again, 4-on-4 right now as Lockney tries to drive the net, knocked down. Johnson has his arm up in the air for a penalty. The net came off, and we get a whistle and a face-off. .34 seconds left of 4-on-4, and then a minute and 7 of Prowlers, or then some Prowlers power play time, unless, who knows, maybe someone else goes to the penalty box. Current penalty minute totals, just 32 to 29 in favor of Danbury right now. And I say in favor of pretty lightly. It just feels like everyone's been in the box. That, I don't even know if that's right. Might have missed some here on the FPHL page, but Hat-Tricks offsides here at the line. It's possible the only penalties that are getting counted on there, penalty minutes, are only the ones that actually put teams on power plays. I'm confused beyond belief here right now, to be honest with you. But I'm hoping I can make it clear enough for all of you at home. Thanks for sticking with us through what has been a slog of a third period. Tomasi spins it over to nobody on the near side. Favaro picks it up, goes up to Heikkila. Has Lockhart breaking towards the net. Heikkila sent it that direction, ramped off a stick and out of play. Heikkila fumbled it for a moment. Lockhart ended up peeling off anyway. But AJ Schlepp is ready to step out of the penalty box just as soon as the final 2 seconds of the penalty belonging to Brian Parsons ends. Now Tomasi is having a conversation with a couple of players on the Prowler bench. Off this face-off, Hat-Tricks win it. Mavalli waits and sends it all the way down. And now a penalty. How about another? Josh Newberg is the one heading to the box, so it's a 5-on-3 for the Prowlers for 30 seconds. And I will hope that you guys who are watching at home will give Brady Beaton and our graphics team the benefit of the doubt if they do not get the number of power plays for each team exactly correct in our post-game graphic. You please show them a little bit of mercy, because it is kind of getting ridiculous at this point. Although I think we passed ridiculous about a period and a half ago. 5-on-3 for the Prowlers. Lockhart, Favaro, one-timer, he scores! First as a Prowler for Nick Favaro, and the power play goal makes it 4. Favaro, the big piece in that Tucker Scantleberry trade in the offseason. Had 7 points in 15 games for Monroe last season. including 2 goals. Also spent most of the year in the SPHL, but he has number 1 as a Prowler. Unloading a nice one-time blast. Prowlers will still have power play time to work with. Although it says 26 seconds up here, it should be 1:56. They sent out Josh Newberg. It should have been, pardon me, I'm incorrect. Newberg, it was the correct one to come out. So 13 seconds left because of the major penalty. Here's a puck just sitting there in Prowler territory that Millette beats Newberg to, and Newberg forces him off of it. In front, Harwell pushed it wide. And now another penalty, arm up in the air from the referee at center, just as Esposito stepped out. I think we got a good 0.3 of a second of 5-on-5 time there, but we do have interference being called, possibly goalie interference here, as Cooper was taken off his skates, and a frustrated Josh Newberg will get some more face time with the penalty box attendant. Every time I look at the clock, I can't believe how much time is still left. .606 is our current time. There's a strong chance that this game pushes the 3-hour mark. Here's Favaro, who scored just moments ago, giving it off to Marty. This power play unit has scored twice in this game. Lockhart over to Marty. His wrist shot just missed wide on the far post. Favaro just moments ago, and Artur Heikkila back in the second period. Remember that? The Prowlers scored in the second period. Feels like an hour and a half ago. Favaro, nice spin around Ruiz. On his backhand, takes a look. And he'll slip it up high to Lockhart. Off for Favaro, downhill. Now Heikkila tried on the backhand in tight. He got pushed right into Penton by Karasov. No penalty should be coming, and really no response from the hat-tricks, mostly due to the fact that it was Karasov that pushed Heikkila into Penton. It's all fair here. Heikkila, maybe a little apology there to Kyle Penton. Prowlers will switch up the unit, and Luke James taking Matt Graham's spot on this power play unit. Matt Graham having himself a nice long rest in the penalty box. But all of his friends have left the box by now, so he's all by himself, alone with his thoughts. Ruiz wins the faceoff back. Mavalli off the glass. And Federley knocks it down, but back at center, so the Prowlers have to touch up. Federley off to the right wing side to James. Bumped off by Karasov, and Ruiz clears. Federley starts things up behind his own net. Drops it off. Millette, rink wide feed, finds Lockney. Millette able to enter the offensive zone. Slips it down to Johnson. James lined up down low. He was right in front of Penton, is back there now. Federley, Lockney, back for Federley. Back to Lockney again, across. Millette takes the shot, and a glove saved by Penton. Maybe a 1 or 2 extra passes for the Prowlers there, looking for the perfect shooting opportunity, as Craig and James are tangled up, so are Johnson and Delory. I thought a couple of players had opportunities to shoot as they were whipping it around. We will take a timeout, our final one of this hockey game. 4:33 left to go in period 3 here on the PHP Network.
Hockey is like a business. One missed pass can derail the perfect plan. Have Taft Consulting help you get your whole team on the same page. They have the expertise to help you follow through on all your goals. Find out how they can help you today by emailing taftconsulting@outlook.com.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
We invite you to tune in to our next broadcast. That'll be Friday, October the 17th, when the Prowlers host the Watertown Wolves. Puck drop scheduled for 7:05 p.m. The pregame show starts at 6:50. It's all right here on the PHP Network. Of course, that is the home opener for the Prowlers, so if you can make it to the building, be sure to do so. Should be a great one. Prowlers will be coming home 2-0 in all likelihood. Here's Lochte letting it go off the back glass. Alex Johnson. And for Millette. Ian Federley switched spots. Millette hassled by Fronduto. Lochte, Federley with some space. Curlin drag shot, didn't get all the way through. I think that was some friendly fire. His own man Johnson. Now Newberg fresh out of the box was behind everybody. Has a 2-on-1. Harwell with Millette hustling back. Shot by Fronduto. Stopped by Cooper. Now it's some 5-on-5 play. One-timer, Cooper the save. And he's able to jump back on top of it for a whistle and a face-off. .349 left to go in this one. Prowlers and hat tricks. It's a 4-0 lead for Port Huron, as they have dominated Danbury this weekend. 7-1, they've outscored the hat trick so far. As Connor Bazal skates up with Schlepp. Bazal, high shot from a sharp angle, fought off by Penton. Comes to the center, Bazal turnaround try, and it's eaten up by Penton. Schlepp took a bump from Karasov. Schlepp wants after Karasov. Tomasi and LaBelle blocking that, and now Schlepp wants Tomasi. They exchange a couple of punches. Gloves are down, but linesmen don't want it to happen. They're really trying. Tomasi and a linesman went down. Schlepp is still throwing that right hand. AJ Schlepp has to be careful here. Bodies flying. Tomasi throwing more punches. Tomasi still throwing punches. My goodness. Both AJ Schlepp and Josh Tomasi throwing punches, and it's a dog pile in the crease featuring 2 players and 2 linesmen. This is unbelievable. I can't believe what I'm seeing right now, as the tangle of bodies slowly gets back to 4 separate people. Have I welcomed you to Hat Tricks and Prowlers yet? Tomasi and Schlepp heading off, and AJ Schlepp giving one more jeer to the crowd before he heads to the locker room. What an opening weekend, huh, folks? This is just something else. People who have been fans of the Fed for a long time, maybe getting flashbacks of the old Fed, some of the moments in this game. And now we have fans in the Prowlers bench chirping back and forth. Johnny Ruiz and Jamie Bussell get the explanations from the referees. 2 minutes are up for AJ Schlepp. See if anybody else goes up. The only other person who might go up would be Josh Tomasi, but I mean, heck of a wrestling match between those two and the linesman. Both teams gathered at their benches, and somebody will have to go serve the penalty for Schlepp. All right, Lucas Lockney is heading that direction. I think the Prowlers are back on the penalty kill for the upteenth time this weekend, and I think that is the first time I've used the word upteenth back-to-back days, definitely my broadcasting career, maybe in my entire life. This is, I need a thesaurus to find more adjectives for what this game is. So Schlepp's 2 minutes are up on the board, being served by Lucas Lockney. Now we get Zaitchek and Bucell set for this face-off. Yet another hat-tricks power play. LaBelle off Ruiz, one-timer, and he missed it wide, and it caroms all the way out. A theme for the hat-tricks this weekend. Those big blasts missing the net and caroming all the way out of the zone, forcing them to reset. Delory knocked down by Brockway to a knee. Here's Ruiz up to the line. LaBelle sends it through, and Cooper somehow found that one through the traffic and gloved it down. .301 left in this game. So Schlepp and Tomasi each got 5 for fighting, and Schlepp got the extra 2 as an instigator. The reason for the hat tricks, I want to say 12th power play of the game. Legkov on the half wall, looking to the middle. That was touched wide by Zaitchek. 3 hat tricks digging for that puck against 1 Prowler, and Danbury wins it. Legkov to LaBelle. Center, Zaitchek turnaround try off a body and wide. Legkov cuts in, and it's poked neatly off his stick by one of the Prowlers, collapsing to the slot. LaBelle, Ruiz, one-timer, and Reed Cooper comes up with another stop. Legkov able to just keep that one in at the line. LaBelle, Ruiz, one-timer off a stick as Lockhart closed on him. Prowlers clear the zone. They get a few of their penalty killers off. Favaro stuck out there defending, but it was scooped up by Cooper as Zaitchek sent it softly on net. Well, coming up in the PHP Network postgame show, we will send it back to our McMorran Place studios. Brady Beaton will break down this whole thing that unfolded in front of you. We will get the final stats from this game, out-of-town scores, and for the first time ever, we will try and get you locker room reaction from Prowlers Associate Head Coach Chris Paulin and our Gunther Graphics Player of the Game. So keep it here on the PHP Network for the entire post-game show. Brady Beaton, our intermission reporter slash statistician, is telling me 198 total penalty minutes for the weekend between the two teams, and Danbury 1 for 24 on the power play this weekend. .145 left in this game. We are approaching the 3-hour mark since the 7 p.m. scheduled puck drop here at Danbury Ice Arena. Nick Favaro rims it all the way around the boards, kept in nicely by Craig with his left boot. Plays it off the near side wall, and Millette couldn't poke it out. Now Millette back on it, skates it to the red line and sends it all the way in. Penton stops it. Karasov chased by Lockney, who's free from the sin bin. The right wing side to Craig. Cross corner dump. Lockhart and Fronduto come together there. Newberg winds, fires off a stick and up out of play. You see the shots there on your screen. Is once again coming up in the PHP Network post-game show. Keep it locked in here once this one is in the books. We will have full game analysis from Brady Beaton in our McMorran Place studios, and we will get reaction from the Prowlers locker room, however long it takes. Associate head coach Chris Paulin and our Gunther Graphics player of the game, who right now is going to be Reed Cooper. Cooper currently 38 saves in this one. Sent down deep. They dig away. Esposito gave it to Vinny DeCumbus, and he starts out for the Prowlers. DeCumbus and Belfay came together. An arm is up for a penalty. Don't know who it's against because both teams were touching the puck, but slashing is the signal. And we just can't let this one end, can we? 42 seconds up on the board, and Austin Belfay, the one going to the box. Off the faceoff, jumps into the net, and that was stopped. Federley just did keep it in at the line, and it's cleared out. 30 seconds left to go in this one. Millette to Lockney. Crosses his way in, 15 seconds left to go. Prowlers in a highly anticipated opening weekend series come in, smother the Danbury Hat Tricks. The first shutout in the FPHL this season belongs to Reed Cooper. Are you kidding me? They ruined my ending call. That was a bit selfish of me, I apologize. But Alex Johnson and a hat trick got tangled up, and we decided to call one more penalty. I'll send Johnson to the dressing room. He can join AJ Schlepp and Brian Parsons back there. But it is indeed true. This is the first shutout of the 2025-26 FPHL season. It belongs to number 33 in white. Reed Cooper, a heck of a performance here tonight. Oh, please don't give me the announcer's jinx. Please, please, please don't. Oh, I will never hear the end of this. Luke James has to go serve 1.8 seconds for some reason. Matt Graham and Josh Newberg will take this face-off. It's 4-on-4. Let's just drop this and be done. I'll try again. My call here. Face-off one, and the first shutout of the 2025-26 FPHL season belongs to Reed Cooper. He had a playoff shutout against the Binghamton Black Bears. That was his first as a pro. This is his first regular season shutout. Your final tonight, Prowlers 4 and Hat Tricks 0. Brady Beaton, you have a lot to talk about, sir. Stick around for the post-game show. We will send it back to Brady in our McMorran Place studios with all the analysis, grab some locker room reaction, and more. It's all coming up next on the PHP Network.
Yeah, I don't know about this one, fellas.
Boys, we don't overcome adversity by backing down. But yeah, I don't know about this one.
That's reassuring.
We're so screwed.
All right, boys. Here's the game plan. LJ, you start with bananas.
Wait, why do I have to do the bananas?
Because you're the softest on the team.
I don't want the bananas.
This thing is gonna melt. We gotta hurry up.
I won't do it.
Okay, both of you. I will do the bananas and the whipped cream. Fets, please continue.
Who's paying for this anyway?
I am. I just bought my tickets for the Prowlers game this weekend, and the Milkhouse gave me 25% off my order.
Fets, why'd you buy the tickets? You're literally on the team.
For the discount.
So are you all ready to give it a try?
Oh, we're ready.
It's true. Get 25% off your entire order at the Milkhouse, October through April. Simply show your ticket stubs at checkout and enjoy your discounted treat.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hi guys, we just stopped at Industrial Park Marathon to get some fuel and some snacks before the Prowlers game at McMorran.
Nice. Yeah, we just stopped by here at Industrial Park Marathon so I can get a Slurpee before the game.
Wait till after the game. If the Prowlers score 3 or more goals, Slurpees will be free.
Thanks for the info. I'm going to get my Slurpee after, but we'll see you at the Prowlers game.
See you at the game. Go
Prowlers!
Prowlers!
Warren Studios live in Port Huron. Brady Beaton here on the Port Huron Prowlers post-game show. Your Prowlers get a 4-0 victory out in Danbury. They're going to be coming back to Port Huron with all 6 points. Let's take a look at the game stats, and as will. And I don't blame him. He couldn't stop talking about it because it was super complicated near the end. The numbers that are going to jump out to you are the penalty minutes for Port Huron. Power play for Danbury. 1 of 25 is a 4% rate for the hat tricks. For the Prowlers special teams, Matt Graham, Alex Johnson, Chris Paul, and they all have to be ecstatic. I sure hope as Will goes to talk to him. That's one of the point of emphasis is because listen, you're not going to continue that for a full season, but to start a weekend off, that is pretty elite stuff. Nick Favaro got the goal in the third period. Brett Lockhart and Dylan Marty get assists. That's Marty's third of the year. And again, a game that went back and forth, that, you know, the shots were heavily in favor of Danbury, but our Gunther Graphics player of the game, I mean, come on, you get a shutout on the road. Reed Cooper gets the player of the game, the first shutout in the FPHL this season. A wonderful effort because he had to make some tough stops. If you look at the start of that third period, it was about 13 minutes of total action when you combine the end of the second period with the more than the first half of the third period, where Port Huron only had one shot, and I'll be honest, that shot was even a little questionable. So there was a lot of action in the Prowlers end. And again, 25 power plays for the weekend. Reed Cooper gets both wins and a shutout, and tonight it was 13. The hat tricks were 0 of 13 on the power play, and that just doesn't seem like a real number. Again, Any team that gets 13 power plays, you're thinking that it's one of those old school Fed games that Will alluded to, that you get up to 8-6, 7-5, not a shutout. Shutout usually means everyone played clean around you, and I'll talk about it a little more in a minute when we go into some game analysis. But this was a back and forth affair that, let's be honest, Port Huron been owning Danbury. They ended last season, ending the hat trick season, and they go out to Connecticut and start off with a couple of wins at Danbury Ice Arena. I'll talk about that in a little bit, talk about the Fed again, remind you what's coming up later on. We'll have some locker room reactions here on the PHP postgame show. We'll be back in a moment.
Hello, home.
There he is.
What is happening?
Relax. We won. They brought back the snack wrap. Spicy or ranch?
Spicy.
Yeah, go. Yeah.
Just one little bite. Can you stop?
Oh, sorry.
Gather your crew. Snack wrap is back.
This isn't working. LJ, pass me those flyers. No look behind the back pass. It's a whole play. I'll take. Come on. Gap up. Close the gap. Close the gap. What are we saying? This isn't working. We need a shift change. Let's bring in the professionals.
Discover 1195 Gastropub in Marysville. Burgers, pizzas, apps, and pub favorites like filet mignon and grilled salmon. Open Monday to Friday, 4 to 9 p.m., weekends 12 to 9 p.m. Join us for happy hour, Monday to Thursday. Enjoy half-off bottles of wine every Wednesday, and don't miss Thirsty Thursday with $4 draft beers. Great food, cold drinks, good times. That's 1195 Gastro Pub.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rearview mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
What's more authentic than a Hungry Howie's Detroit-style pizza? Nothing. We're not playing around with the pizza of our birthplace. Thick crust, cheese to the edge, sauce on the top. Where it belongs. We've seen a lot of fakes out there. Not here. This is authentic Detroit-style pizza. Order yours now online for $12.99. We sauce the top and rep for the 313 everywhere. We do bold. Hungry Howie's.
Once again, our Gunther Graphic Player of the Game, Reed Cooper. I just can't overemphasize how impressive this victory was. Again, the first shutout of the FPHL season. And again, the impressive part is 13 penalty kills for the Prowlers. Not all of them went the full 2 minutes. It wasn't 26 minutes of penalties killed, but it's still very impressive by Cooper. And usually when you see a shutout, it's, hey, you had one power play against or two, not 13 and not 30 some odd shots against a well-earned player of the game effort for Reed Cooper. Just taking a look at this game and some thoughts. Danbury is, they're Danbury. They have their own image, but here's the thing. When you're not winning at the rate they were when Bill McCreary was there a few years ago, when they did win the Commissioner's Cup, now you start to see a little bit of empty calories, for lack of a better phrase, where you're getting physical, but if you get physical and you get beat up on the scoreboard, then it looks a little different. Now, Danbury always would play with an edge. I mean, there is a long history of that out there. But Port Huron to go out there and take 6 points back. When you play a game like Port Huron and Danbury does, you have to walk a fine line because Port Huron and Danbury both play extremely physical. Sometimes they cross that line. And, I've seen it as a fan. I've seen it as the opposing broadcaster when I worked for the Rockers. And if you walk that line the right way, and I think Port Huron was teetering on it again, a lot of bad blood stemming from last year's first-round playoff matchup between Danbury and Port Huron. But listen, the Prowlers went back and they backed it up. And that's the biggest thing when it comes to something like this. Hey, you can have all the fun you want. Hey, if you plant a flag and Port Huron goes out there and gets shelled in 2 games, it doesn't look as good. But now, the fact that they went out there and backed it up, that's a big statement for Matt Graham's squad to start the season. 6 points on the road in a notoriously tough place to play out in Danbury. As we continue to take a look around the Fed, let's see what the scores are. Last we updated, because it was, again, a lot of high-scoring games around the Fed. You see PD and Columbus. Take a look at the updated scores, because sometimes as we update them, the scores change as the graphic comes up. So in South Carolina, the Ice Cats a 7-5 win over Columbus. That's a nice job down there for the brand new squad in South Carolina. Binghamton found the end zone, put the extra point through. Watertown could only muster a field goal. 7-3 Binghamton over Watertown. Topeka 5, the Sentinels 3, and Monroe leads Biloxi 5-2. It is again the first week of the Fed, the first month is always different, because you have some guys that are maybe still in camp, some guys that are in a different league. Really, the time you start to see the rosters really come together for what you're going to see for the majority of the season is around Thanksgiving, around November-ish. But these points count all the same. I can't tell you how many times in the last decade of following the Fed that you'll get a team that maybe got off to a slow start. It cost them a playoff spot. It cost them home ice advantage. So 6 points in the first weekend, a great job by Port Huron. Take another break. When we come back, we'll be back out in Danbury. Will Wiggleman able to go into the locker room. We'll see that next here on the PHP postgame show.
Hi, what can I get for you?
I'd like some McMorrin fries, please.
All right, that's going to be $4.
Okay.
She shoots, she scores with the new Prowlers debit card.
Don't you have somewhere to be? The game's on.
Get your Prowlers debit card only at Flagship Community Federal Credit Union, located on Lapeer Road in Port Huron. Flagship Federal Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA. Will Wiggleman back one final time here to Danbury Ice Arena. Prowlers defeat the Danbury Hat-Tricks 4-0. Very excited. For the very first time, we have post-game interviews on our post-game show, and we start with our Gunther Graphics Player of the Game. I'm with tonight's Gunther Graphics Player of the Game, Reed Cooper, a 38-save shutout. You guys came into this weekend, lots of anticipation. You get out with a 6-point sweep. What are your thoughts on the whole thing?
I mean, we were the more prepared team. That's what it comes down to. We out-battled them, we out-competed, and just in every aspect of the game, and it showed out there at the score. So.
You guys were on the PK a lot this weekend. From a goaltending perspective, what was that like?
Well, it was definitely different with the rule changes. You kind of had to be ready for a penalty every five seconds, it seemed like. So I was just doing my best to stay in the moment, and the penalty killers did an unreal job. Kept them to the outside for the most part, and it was great. It was great.
Had some fans come out. You ready to see them back at McMorrin Place next weekend?
Oh yeah, we're ready to be back at home ice. It's gonna feel really good to be back there. I'm really excited.
That's our Gunther Graphics Player of the Game. Gunther Graphics, your go-to guy for websites, logos, and branding. Thanks, Coop.
Thank you.
Reed Cooper, fantastic in this game. I believe they gave him 38 saves officially on the FPHL website. But his first regular season shutout after he got his first playoff pro shutout in April against the Binghamton Black Bears. He gave up 1 goal in 2 games this weekend on over 70 shots. We chatted about him and the rest of the Prowlers with associate head coach Chris Paulin. I'm with Prowlers associate head coach Chris Paulin after the 4-0 win over the Danbury Hat-Tricks. Coach, you outscored this team 7-1 over 2 games this weekend. How'd you do it?
Better goaltending. I thought the goaltending matchup, we won both nights. That had a lot to do with it.
We talked about your PK a little bit last night. You want to give them their flowers a little bit again for tonight? They were perfect.
Yeah, no, I think we made a couple adjustments that helped for sure. We had guys that were sprinting to pucks. They were good sticks and lanes, and then obviously goaltending fixes a lot of sins for sure. So still a lot to clean up.
Good to see guys like Arttu Heikala, Nick Favaro getting their first goals as Prowlers, but that power play unit looked pretty good tonight.
Yeah, they were dialed in all week in practice. And then, they got a chance to run something we've been looking to do. Great players. Hikes has been awesome for us both on the power play and the PK. I mean, he had a good 3-4 block shots tonight, and then Favaro does everything. So both guys are outstanding players, and they're big for our lineup.
Heading back home next weekend, how do you avoid a letdown after this series was so charged up all summer?
Yeah, there's no letdown. These are all divisional opponents. Those are 2 good games. We get some rest, we enjoy it, and we're really excited for the home opener. We got another divisional opponent that we don't like coming into our rink.
All right, thank you, Coach.
You got it.
That was a Prowlers associate head coach, Chris Paulin. Prowlers complete the sweep of the Danbury Hat-Tricks, and they move to 2-0 on this young season before heading home for a 6-game homestand. And that will start Friday, October the 17th. That's going to do it for us here from Danbury. This edition of Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the PHP Network was produced and directed by Christian Jackson. Big thank you to the Danbury Hat-Tricks media team for the use of their cameras this evening as well. We'll be back Friday, October the 17th when the Prowlers take on the Watertown Wolves. Puck drop is scheduled for 7:05 p.m. and the pregame show starts at 6:45. It's all right here, or 6:50, whichever you prefer. It's all right here on the PHP Network. For Brady Beaton, our intermission reporter, statistician, and graphics helper, back in our McMorran Place studios, I'm Will Wiggleman, saying goodnight from the Hat City.